I like that.
Yeah, we have to do the intro every time.
Yeah, it's like ritual. I feel like that lets me know we're going. So welcome everybody to the Faction After Hours podcast. This one is actually pre-recorded. We have a guest today.
Don't say a number because it might not be that number. Yeah.
I just said it's pre-recorded. I wasn't even thinking about numbers.
But usually you're always like number 45. You know. So.
That's because it's kind of impressive. We have a guest today.
What are you guys up to right now?
I have no fucking idea.
46.
46.
Yeah, I would say.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
we have Reese Marin here. We have Reese Marin in the building.
What's up? How you doing?
I know you as an instructor at. Well, at first I met you at Club Loose, and
Yeah.
then I find out that you're also an instructor at Evergreen.
Yeah.
Which are both establishments that I love. So
Yeah,
it's nice to have you on here.
I thought
Thanks. I appreciate it.
it was pretty funny because I was like, I just brought Reese on because I mean we've known each other for like literally 10 years now, probably,
Yeah.
which
So
is kind
it's been
of
a while.
crazy.
You've probably seen Frankie grow. That's kind of wild.
Yeah, I've seen
short,
all them,
like hair-wise.
Everybody like look young. I remember Faction and Front Street. They were all like really young nerds.
Yeah.
And now look at them.
And now
yeah,
they
they
washed
won.
up.
They won
So-
at Final Bout this past
Yeah,
weekend.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
For
Past
Front
weekend,
Street.
absolutely.
Yeah, Front Street. Good job. You guys.
Good job, guys. I got to watch that. I had the pleasure of watching that. I was grilling burgers at the last turn. It was
Oh, yeah.
fantastic.
That was pretty cool.
Dude, we were there chilling. Beers out, burgers are on the grill, bacon's on there. Everyone is watching Final Bout, and we're like just a little more elevated than them.
Nah.
And we're just fucking having a great time, fucking just literally just watching Final Bout. It was just a fun ass day, and the weather was beautiful.
It's definitely a different vibe for sure. I
like
definitely
there was a good energy in there. It was
Yeah.
cool.
It's really nice that there's that there's like that genre of drifting definitely exists. It's really needed,
Yeah.
especially in American drifting.
Have you made it to a Final Bout yet? Because I know you've always been trying to go.
I think never
Right.
gone to an actual final.
I feel like
bout.
every time we talk before a Final Bout event or something, you're like, I'm trying to go, and then it just never lines up.
It never lines up, and it's just I guess being in it in a different aspect and a different genre of drifting.
Yeah.
Because there's so many. Like, I think that's what's so great about America. There's like so many subcultures of drifting that exist.
Yeah.
That's definitely the subculture that I like the most. Like
it's
there
the most
wasn't a car
stylish.
there where I wasn't like, like that looks kind of weird. Like I had experienced a lot of firsts at this Final Bout. I met this guy Juan. I think his name on Instagram is Relax Amigo. He's the one driver on
really low
on,
13.
Dude, low is a fucking understatement. This guy has to fucking undo the coilover. What up, Juan? He's a pod listener. He actually was like there was a few people that said hi to me, and he was one of them. And
I gotta find him on Instagram.
that shit is like notched trans tunnel, and the diff is like I was like,
He has like a whole like a Tumblr type of vlog thing or video explaining how he does it all. It's like
shit was crazy, but
It
it's
strikes me
super
more
cool,
as
dude.
art,
I rode in his
yeah.
car.
What's his name on Instagram?
Relax, Amigo.
Amigo.
I rode in his car and shit, and we're going down the straightaway or whatever where you enter, and I was like, this doesn't sound like an SR. What is? I was just assuming it was an SR, bro. NAKA.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really?
They placed. I was like, yo, that's
Oh, wow.
sick.
Yeah.
Like
that dude's like Lola.
ripping.
Yeah, I'm looking at it
Um,
right now.
And then I rode in a Miata. That felt unsafe. What up, Fischetti? That felt really unsafe. I was like, where's the rest of the car? I said it like 7 times. I was like, dude, this different. I'm just waving my hands in the air. It just felt so crazy. And
They're super nimble.
fun as hell.
Yeah, it's a whole
I
other
feel like I would
experience.
enjoy driving one of those. But yeah, shout out Roadstar. We had a good time with them.
Everything that I see from there is good. It's and definitely a big shout out to just how much better the driving has gotten. Like,
Yeah.
because in the beginning when I first saw Final Bout, like I thought it was trash. I was like, this driving is horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what a
like-
lot of people from the East Coast were thinking.
I was like, what is this?
Yeah.
But I was like, all right, they can't be trash forever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then over the years, it got better and better. And now it's like, damn, this is sick.
I wonder if
Dude,
that has
really.
something to do with having people from around the country coming to that one track, US Air, and like driving on it. It probably forced all the people around there to be like, okay, we gotta like step some shit up.
Yeah, I mean, I think just over time, people are just going to naturally want to get better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that's something, a good example of that was Final Bout. 'Cause like I said, the first one, I was just like, it looks really cool. I remember I saw the video and the intro was like sick. And then when you actually got to see like the driving, I really wasn't like But I was like, all right, this is like the first or second one.
Yeah.
I'm like, we can't judge these people off of that, even though we totally did at the moment, because it's the East Coast thing to do.
Yeah.
But it was nothing but love, you know what I mean? But then over the years, it got better and better and better. And now you watch all the driving, you're like, this is what's up. This is.
Shit looks
You know.
crazy. I was like, God damn, like this is really happening. Like I'm 4 hours from home. It wasn't crazy far.
Yeah, you probably
from-
thought you were in a different country.
Dude. Definitely thought I was somewhere else.
Yeah.
But
Have you driven that track?
Yeah.
You
I
did?
did that
Okay.
track.
Fun track.
For Drift Week and different variations of it over the years. Because before instructing, like I drove a ton.
I was
Yeah.
gonna ask you about that, kind of like where you, because you're mentioning when you're talking about Final Bout, you were talking a lot about the very first one.
Yeah.
I didn't even know about drifting back then. I feel like, no, I definitely did not.
When did you
like
start?
2016 ish,
2005.
2015, 2016, 2005 is when
Yeah.
you started drifting.
I
or is
started,
that-
and then Club Loose plucked me off the streets like in 2007.
you mentioned earlier, Hop found you.
Or you guys
I ran into Hop and Stoneback in South Philly, street drifting. I don't know how many years. It was long. We were very young,
That sounds sick.
but you could tell they weren't from the city. You're like, all right, these dudes aren't from around here.
They just went there to drift.
Yeah, there were just some suburban kids that showed up. You know what I mean? But then and now it's like you look back and it's like these are people that I ended up like having friendships with for so many years,
That's
competing against
Wild.
Stoneback and stuff like that, and hanging out with Brian,
Yeah.
So
watching him turn into a great driver now.
so you
It's awesome.
that was also early on in your drifting career.
Yeah, that
or-
was like 2000. It has to be like 2006, 2007.
Hmm.
Yeah. Oh, that's better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
cool and
bothering
good.
me. We have the AC on today, but I'm realizing that it's not really working out with the audio. So
It's cooler in here.
Everybody
I
come back.
complained earlier.
yeah.
Everybody come back.
I mean, once
They all left.
once it warms up a little, I'll turn it back on. But yeah, we're gonna have to figure that out.
You'll
for the
use
summer.
your ambient,
We'll just take
built-in
breaks.
ambient
We'll
temperature.
like let it chill and then we'll
yeah,
start up
because
again.
dude, I feel like Malcolm, didn't we run this shit like last summer? Or wait, yeah, because we started in
July,
July, right?
June.
So it must have been hot as fuck. Yeah, so there must be a way to do it. I don't know what's going on today, but
I'm all right with the temperature. It could be
Yeah, I'm good
worse.
right now.
Could be
yeah,
worse.
I'm trying to fucking figure this out for the future. I'm like, how the fuck are we gonna do this? But
What was your first car, Reese?
Drift car?
Yeah.
Oh, my first car? Nobody will ever guess my first car. My first car was given to me for free from a good friend of mine, from a friend of a friend.
Your
It was-
drift car or your car?
No,
First
my
car.
first car.
Okay.
But it's cool because it was a stick shift. It was a
Okay, a manual.
yeah, it was
okay.
a Ford Escort GT.
What
So-
the hatch looking thing, or was
Yeah,
it like
yeah,
a?
it had like
pretty
a
sick.
OEM body kit on it from Ford. I didn't know shit about cars back then. I was just like, all right, this
I
shit-
don't know anything about escorts
but
to be honest.
I didn't know. I looked into it. It was like a Mazda engine. I don't know, some crazy shit. It was like, but it was sick. You know what I mean? I learned how to drive stick shift in it, and like, it was awesome. I had no idea what it was. I wish I would have kept it. Now
Yeah.
that I know that it was just what was wrong with it was just like an axle I could have fixed, but I didn't know shit back then.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And then I heard about drifting
How'd you hear about it?
initial day.
Damn,
I
that shit must have
whenever-
just came out.
No,
they came out in
they were-
90s.
Yeah, it was. I think there were a couple seasons already, and a couple stages in already.
Okay.
And my friend was inviting me over to watch some sort of boxing anime, but when I walked in, he had drifting on, and that was it.
yeah, you're like, whoa, what's
It's
this?
so cliche. It's
Damn,
so,
I like that you're able to pinpoint that situation, that moment though.
Yo, because like when I first got into drifting, I was fucking broke, bro.
Damn.
Like there was like I never got into cars because like, not that we were broke. It's just I don't know. It's like being from the city. You were just kind of like Philadelphia, not New York. Being, you know, some people are like, really?
Good clarification.
Yeah. Being from Philadelphia, I was just into playing basketball. I was into doing all that. You didn't even think about having a car. Nobody had cars in high school.
Yeah.
Like my whole upbringing was very, very different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I didn't even think about it. All I thought about was like jumping on the buses or taking the train anywhere I needed to to go play basketball.
Basketball don't cost that much money, so
No, it did not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Unless
But
you
then-
roll an ankle, which is what
Yeah.
happens to me every time.
Which I did plenty. Which
yeah.
is the reason I stopped. And the fact that I realized I wasn't going to grow any taller than 5'8". So I was like, to say.
I realized that early on. I didn't make it on my high school basketball team, and I was like, "That's
Yeah.
it. That was it."
But it was cool. I had a nice little stint. I played with a bunch of the N1 guys for a little bit. They,
Are
I
you doing
went
a lot
down-
of
Yeah, I was doing all that. I was doing,
cross,
yeah.
cross stuff?
I was going into like West Philly for a while. Well, my buddy was the one who would take me. He
Damn,
me to
you
West
honestly,
Philly.
you probably hooped. What
Yeah,
the
no,
fuck?
I 100%.
That's dope.
Yeah, I went into West Philly, went to this place called The Pit. It was very scary. I was very young, but I could play, and they didn't look at me like I was white. They looked at me like I was Latino. So at the time of the era in that time frame, it worked out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So 22nd in Somerset. That's Connie Mack basketball court. 16 in Somerset. These are all like people that know basketball know. Like I would go there and try to play at those places. Then I realized like all my friends got way taller than me, jumped higher than me, were blocking my shots.
How
I'm
old
like,
were you when you were doing this?
Hardcore was like 13 to 18, 19.
Okay.
Damn, you
And
played
then-
for a couple years.
Yeah, I thought I was gonna. This was it. I'm like, oh, I'll go to Temple University or I'll go to like St. Joe's, and I'm thinking like I'm gonna do this.
Oh wow, I never knew that.
Yeah, I was really like I didn't give a fuck about cars, like not at all. I'm like, whatever, give me whatever, as long as I can go play ball, I was happy. As long as I can go to Rucker Park in New York, in Harlem, I was happy.
Yeah.
But quickly realized that wasn't a thing. Drifting happened, and then, dude, all my friends from high school will tell you they never, ever, ever would have thought I'd be doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Because to them, I'm a different person. They're
That's
like, "You are-"
that's crazy. I love hearing that just because you never know who's going to come up and do whatever it is the next thing is. You know?
Yeah.
You never fucking know.
And it was a struggle. I mean, telling my parents, like, oh, I don't want to do college anymore. I want to do drifting. Like, it was, and so they're immigrants, so they're just like, what the fuck are you doing?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
So you now you fast forward. You went all the way. You mentioned you went all the way to 19 playing basketball.
Mm.
So where was like the crossover where you were like, all right, I'm gonna drift.
Dude, I don't know. When I realized that, like, I got injured, I messed up my ankle, and it started really sinking in. Like, I'm not gonna be able to play basketball. Like, I couldn't. Physically, I just wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, obviously, I look way more fit back then. You know what I mean?
You look
But it's-
good. You look good.
Yeah,
This looks good.
I
everybody.
appreciate it. And then, like, so I just knew that wasn't gonna happen. You know
Uh-huh.
what I mean? So I'm just like, and then really, I was just hanging out with my buddies. I've always had this fascination with anime. My first anime that I ever watched was like the Ronin Warriors. That's what got me into it. And then Dragon Ball, and then the rest is history. Initial D happened, and then I don't know, I guess like subconsciously I was looking for something else because I realized basketball wasn't going to happen.
Okay.
And then that kind of just fueled it. And when I found my buddies, my Cambodian friends, that were into it, it just kind of just fueled it more.
Did they
Tokyo
have
drifting.
cars and shit?
They were they had like, back then they were the first ones that had like the strawberry faces. They had Sylvia's. They had all of that shit back then. So like I got to see that in front of my baker. My family has a Colombian bakery in North Philly. And
That's
they were
sick.
around
Is it
the
still
corner.
there?
Yeah, it's still there.
Facts.
And they used to all work around the corner. So I would see these 240s over the time, and then I made the connection with Initial D. I'm like, wow, that's so crazy. Like, this is a So 80. Who would have thought?
Yeah.
So then I got to live that life when I eventually got a 240. Back then, they were like $700.
Were they drifting their cars? Or
They were attempting to. This is back when we didn't know anything. We thought we needed VLSDs when we could have just welded. We didn't know we could just weld back then.
Yeah.
We didn't know anything. We were so green in the sport. But we got to go midnight and cruise all around South Philly, and nobody was into drifting. Everybody thought it was stupid back then. So we got cream of the crop. Nobody thought it was us racing. They would just see the cops just thought it was a bunch of idiots doing donuts, when in reality we were trying to learn how to drift in
Yeah.
all these parking lots. in
That's
Philly.
fucking
It's kind of
sick.
how it was for me too.
That's
Yeah.
sick.
I mean, every once in a while we'll get busted, like, what are you doing, blah, 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 like, what the fuck? But, like, for the most part, I got to live, like, that era of just cruising with your buddies, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning. You're the only people out there, the only 240s out there in Philadelphia doing that. Like, I know for a fact, back then, it was me and a select few. We were the only ones doing that in Philadelphia. And for me, that was sick. You know?
There's like this little section of Philadelphia. I don't know. I went to school in South Jersey. Every time I went to Philadelphia, it was to drink,
Right.
except for like a field trip in the 6th grade. But like,
You didn't drink on that one?
no, milk only.
Fucking loser. Just kidding, Carl.
But eat a dick, Frank.
I don't even drink.
You fucking bitch.
I mean, I kind of don't either. But
It's honestly, it's a rare occasion now. I feel like it hurts my body, so I try not to. But if I'm feeling it, I'm feeling it.
I'm just
but
a pussy.
We went.
Yeah.
I
I'm a lightweight.
appreciate that.
I drink like 1 or 2 and I become like white girl wasted. It's horrible.
It's amazing.
It's embarrassing.
No, it's lit because now you don't have to shove so much volume into your body,
Right.
and same effect.
I just don't remember. I'm like,
Christ.
yeah. I'd rather stick
Somebody's
with the
dropping
herbs.
shit in your drink,
No,
man.
I'm
I
just
think.
horrible.
I love how I just distract everyone from what they're talking about. I just chime in once in a
Yes.
while and just fucking
Wait,
throw everything off.
The Philadelphia spot, because I remember I was driving there and there was the most beautiful hairpin. It had a wall too, like it was a walled hairpin, and it was pretty steep.
Reese probably knows it.
And I was like, like, and this is, I told you I got into drifting around like 2016, 15, something like that, and I looked at that and I was like, damn, this looks sick, but it's very trafficked.
Right.
I feel like it wouldn't be doable. And there was a lot of trees around. So I don't know if that's like a nature part of Philadelphia.
Oh, you're probably talking about Fitment Park. So
It might have been in a park.
yeah, I mean, yeah, there's places. I'm sure there's been people who have done that. Maybe we have done it.
It was a beaut, and there might have been another turn like right after it.
It's probably by Fairmount Park.
Yeah. Damn.
It's not like a lot of these places get drifted anymore.
No way. No shot. It was a very trafficked area, and I was like, damn, no way.
Philly's a big fucking city, man.
Yeah, if you know how to like, at least back then, like we would like hold these huge meets in South Philly we call them the IKEA meets. And
Why is everything always IKEA?
It's a big parking lot.
Literally,
You know what I mean?
yeah, it's always IKEA.
They got good lighting too, always.
Yeah,
so
and
funny.
they were next to Linens and things in
What the
South
hell is a
Philly.
Linen
It's
and
like
thing?
this Linens place. So like
And
You get linens and things.
And
Yeah.
linens and things.
it was great marketing. And then, like, you would go there and it was this huge lot, but they had like this one run up that would dump out into this lot, so that's where we would initiate from.
Oh,
And
beautiful.
it was sick. It was sick to do that, but like we didn't know that's where Club Loose came in. Like, what the fuck are you doing? You're gonna mess it up, because you know we don't give a damn. We didn't, spending money to go to the track was like that's unheard of. You know what I mean? And then eventually we all converted and actually started going to Club Loose, and then we started really learning how to drift.
When did you guys start going to Club Loose?
2007. I remember they told me like come to a clinic, and if you don't learn anything at the clinic, you can go back and do whatever shit you were doing.
Yeah, I remember.
But
Yes.
if you learn,
Who was it that told you to come?
I don't know who told me to come. They were all just giving me that like typical Club Loose tough love, like you're an idiot. Why are you drifting on the streets? Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Which I mean, I totally understand why now, in retrospect.
Yeah, because I remember
Um,
you told me about that story. They were like, yeah.
They saw me drift. Petty looked at me one time and he was like, "Get out of your car." He completely outdrifted me, and then I was like, "All right, well."
Damn,
this is
he
where I gotta stay.
sunned you real quick.
Oh yeah, I remember he like halfway punched me. He's like, "Let go of the wheel." And I say that all the time now to my students, like, you gotta let go of the wheel. You gotta feel the car.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so tough love has been like always a thing over there since day one. You know what I mean? Like they put me right in check. You know what I mean? So like every time I hear people now complain, I'm like, you don't even know.
Yeah. And
You don't
listen,
even know.
You listen to the podcast, so you would know that we bring that up sometimes. Like,
Yeah, dude.
how kids these days are just like running away from all that.
I think is that they don't understand, like, and it's from around the country, right? Like it's definitely a Northeast thing. I go to other clubs, I go to other parts of the country where they have these events, and like the attitude is not the same that we have. And it's when you think about it, it's like, well, the majority of people are coming from Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York. So that's just attitude is going to be a thing. And the only way to communicate with people that have that attitude is to have something of attitude.
Yeah.
So it looks really foreign. You know, I know Aaron Losley, when I talked to him, he would tell me, he's like, you can always tell who's from the East Coast because you guys are so hard on one another, but in a very loving way. Where to us, it's kind of, it's off-putting to kind of see people like talk shit on one another like that.
And then they come back at that. They're almost so nice to each other that it's weird to me.
Yeah. Where I think like they're fucking with me.
Yeah,
when
like
they're
in
too
California
nice.
and shit. Like they'll
Yeah.
be saying stuff, and I'm like, is this guy fucking with us?
Yeah, like I don't. Yeah, 100%.
That
Like,
was
straight
literally
up.
Frankie when we were in California. He's like, everybody's so fucking nice.
Like, why is this guy so? I'm always like, if you're that nice, I'm like, something's up.
Yeah. That's because we're from here.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
but then once
because
you
we're
get
from
used to
here.
it, you're there for a couple of days. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
now Frankie's
everything's just
nice.
perfect here.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then it just you're after a while like other things would irritate me, like the way they would like on the West Coast, like if I'm not doing what I need to be doing by 10 a.m., like my day is gone. Like,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
they're
yeah.
just like, nah. it's
Oh,
cool,
don't
dude.
even get me started,
We'll get
bro.
around to it. I'm like, oh my god.
Don't even get me started with
You know?
California.
But I
dude.
get it. I see that that's their way of life, you know. And over here, when they come over here, they're like, you guys are like a million miles a minute. You know what I mean? And I'm sure everybody has different experiences, but at least generally speaking, I've noticed.
Yeah, dude, it's
You
bad.
know, and that's why we have that attitude and stuff like that here.
The business side of it, I'm talking about. Like,
Oh yeah.
bro, oh my god.
That's the time zone. They're 3
no
hours
man,
behind.
no
Nah,
man.
Keep it basic. The restaurants, bro. Like just ordering food, sometimes you're just like, dude, can you just bring me the check? I'm ready. I've been ready like 15 minutes ago.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Dude, we'll call it like, oh, 3 hours behind. Okay, we'll wait till like fucking 3 in the afternoon and call him. Yeah, dude. What do you need? Yeah, he went on lunch. What time is it there, dude? It's 10 a.m. He's not on lunch, bro. You guys just got to work, man. Like, it's always just like so slow. Everyone's high as fuck. I'm like, dude, I can't with that shit. But yeah, they're all nice.
That's super nice.
But-
That's why, which is worse, because now you can't be mean to them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then, but the only time that really gets me is when they pull that passive aggressive thing. I'm just like, oh my.
I haven't really experienced that yet.
You
Yeah.
son of a-
It's their way
Of being
saying,
mean?
fuck you. See,
Okay.
we say it literally.
Yeah.
They passively say it, and they know it irritates us. And I'm
Okay.
like, ooh, touche. But I love all my California friends. I love all of them.
I do too.
'Cause
I
they're
love it
different.
over there.
They're different.
Yeah,
And,
it is different.
So it's nice sometimes, and I've learned a lot from them. I'm like, man, I should probably chill.
Yo.
You know what I mean? Because like,
Yeah.
Yo, you know who's like that? Justin from Roadstar.
Justin is the nicest.
Bro, I told Malcolm about this shit. I was like, Justin's too nice, dude. He's like, what do you mean? I was like, I don't know, bro. I couldn't read him. He's like, what? I'm like, I can't tell if he's fucking with me. He's just so nice.
yeah.
And then
that's
like
the
after
thing.
we spent that whole time with him in California, I was like, he's just genuinely a nice fucking person. Like, and I need
Yeah.
to just get used to that.
It's crazy as Americans, like we look at that as like, are you fucking with me?
Yeah. And then like we were, by the time he came, I'm talking about that time we went to California last, which was Black Dude's Drift. We went out there. Our buddy came out and hung out with us. We were already exhausted. We were there for like 3 days. I did you know I texted him after we got back and I was like, I just want to apologize for how exhausted me and Carl were.
Dude, I was like delusional as fuck. I
'Cause
was
he was-
walking us to a taco truck that wasn't there and shit, and Justin took the wheel. Yes.
Yeah, he was being so nice to us and like, yo, you guys want to do this, do that, and we're just like, whatever, man. Like, we just want to go to sleep, dude.
It was amazing.
But yeah, he was so nice. I had to like text him like, dude, I'm sorry, man.
This is why.
But they totally understand.
This
Like,
is
Yeah,
why.
no, he did. He
Yeah,
seemed
they
to.
totally
Yeah,
get
he
that.
was like totally not even mad about it. I'm like, if there was someone from here, they'd be like, yo, what the fuck was up with you, man? But like California people are just like,
He
they don't
needed
care.
that hood transported. I'm not gonna say whatever it is or
Oh,
what
yeah,
car it's
you-
for, but I brought it down there because Justin asked me to.
Yeah.
Because I was like, dude, man, you would have fucking done the same shit.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
He is so nice. And they're all nice down there.
all
dude.
nice. It was every experience that I've had in California has been super. Like I'll joke around and bust their balls because they're different,
Yeah.
but that's because I like them. And if you're from the East Coast, that's how you tell someone you like them.
Also, their drift events are dumb lax, dude. Like
Yeah,
the vibe
yeah.
is completely different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not like attacking each other. Not
Yeah.
attacking. Like I mean, like
You know
I'm
that,
trying to drive the best.
That's good
used-
and bad, though.
I'm used to like Club Loose has just taught me like if you're gonna go out there, like you
Do
have
your
to have
best.
some sort of etiquette,
And
you
be-
know,
and-
run
yeah.
the right line,
Yeah.
don't just run a shitty line, like you know what I mean. So there is some places in the country that I've gone to where there is no line discipline, at least. or
There's
etiquette.
nothing.
so you can't.
There's not
really
even any
expect-
like, hey, dude, why don't you try that? There's like, it's just people just doing whatever
Just
they want
doing
to do.
whatever, and that unfortunately, because of my upbringing, turns me off to drift that event sometimes.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, I need to know that if I go hard, you're gonna go deep here, because like that's what you should be doing.
You're talking like tandems and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, if you're
yeah.
talking tandems and shit, that's a whole nother thing too. It's like, you know, you
But that's because of that. That has to be because we come up in Club Loose.
yeah, and you
'Cause
can't
we're
get you
disciplined.
can't get to A group unless you're a certain.
Right. Not saying that there isn't some clubs out there that are disciplined as well, but you know, there's a lot of them that aren't.
Yeah, I've definitely
Yeah.
noticed there's a lot that aren't.
So
It's more like a kind of a free for all.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
And that has to. I ultimately think that has to do with the organizer or the person that's in charge.
100%.
Of that. So it's like, you know. show
I
some
almost
pride
feel
in
like
that.
that's what it's like in Japan, though. Sometimes you watch these videos and nobody's doing anything. There's just one guy making sure that.
Yeah, but I mean,
Probably is.
think about the like. We're not Japanese. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't have that normal etiquette and discipline.
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
American.
You never know what the.
We can do whatever the hell we want to do. Fuck you. Like
Yeah,
they
that
don't-
is-
They're not like that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like they're awesome. Like don't get me wrong, but you know,
They have their own like way of, like, I don't know how to say it. Like,
self-policing.
yes,
themselves their own
exactly.
way.
Yeah, that's
They
a-
have the culture that allows that to breathe. We
Yeah,
don't.
Americans don't have that.
No, we're
Someone
all
needs to be in
about-
control
yeah.
of the track.
Yeah, someone has to tell us what to do. Because if you tell us like, "Yo, just don't cross the line," we're all gonna be like, "Who's gonna cross it first?
Yeah.
You know, that's our culture.
That
you
is
know?
true,
We're
man.
we're born to be assholes. You know what I mean? And we make it look cool, which makes everyone kind of like it a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, all right,
But in
they could do
reality,
that.
yeah. That's the Americans, whatever. Just wear a jersey and some red cups. You know what I mean?
So you got now you kind of are affiliated a little bit in Club Loose and stuff. Like, did you just keep driving Club Loose repetitively until like you became an instructor? Like,
No, so I did pro-ams. I did, at that time, it was the era of
Dang.
like doing pro-ams and stuff like that. So I jumped into the pro-ams with like, this is the era of like Steve Angerman, Dan Savage, Jeff Stoneback.
Well, you probably came out of the basketball mindset, like, oh, I'm going to do this for
And
a living.
compete?
And
Well,
then you're like,
yeah,
let
so
me try to do this.
At that time, that generation of drifters, that was the way. Like Instagram and all that stuff really wasn't a thing. Back then, the way to make it is like you were good, you would go to these events, you would place good, and you would go onto like Rec Magazine and like, all the
Yeah.
all that stuff. That was the route.
that
at that
sounds
time.
that sounds sick. Like,
Yeah.
I wish honestly that it was still like that. Like,
Yeah.
that sounds awesome.
But I mean, you also have to understand that with the expansion of social media now, it's given so many more people an opportunity to do it.
Yeah.
And that's good and bad, because you'll get some people that traditionally you may think, well, I don't know if they really deserve all that. But then you got other people that are really focused on learning how to drift and be good at drifting and hope that makes them popular. But like, it's kind of the wave. Every 4 years, like drifting kind of goes through like this little change and stuff like that. And I've seen it happen. Like, I mean, I've been around since like MySpace. It's like,
yeah.
I've seen it all kind of go up and down all around. And, now kids are all over TikTok. It's like, so it's interesting to see what it's going to be like.
You
next
kind of
time.
stayed with it, though. That's what you told me you were on TikTok, and that's where you're getting a lot of your business, right?
Yeah, a lot of my business comes from TikTok now.
Yeah, I
Lot
should
of
probably like get TikTok or something.
The
What
kids
are you
get
gonna
it,
make?
man.
What are you gonna put out there?
Malcolm's got our TikTok going, so you can follow us on TikTok.
The shit that scares me is sometimes on that I'll see something cool, guy's 13 or an IS 300. That's it. And then and then like I'll see somebody else. Technically it would be drifting because of he's linking turns, but it's literally through a fucking suburban ass neighborhood,
Right.
and it's in a Hellcat, and I'm like, this thing is got some speed going,
Right.
and it's midday.
I understand
That shit is scary, and that'll also spread like wildfire too.
But that's so. I'm not trying to give them excuses, but with the growth of the popularity of drifting, we tend to always think that that's always going to be a positive thing. But because we live in this country,
Yeah.
and because we're free, you can interpret that however you want, and the growth of drifting has bred the growth of other things that we don't like.
Yeah.
That's just the pros and cons of that. You know what I mean?
That
I
was
think
really
eventually-
nicely put.
Yeah, it's just how it works. You know what I mean? I would be almost, I mean, do I like it? No. But I'm sure like Club Loose didn't like when I was out there like drifting these intersections like in Tokyo Drift.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was just as dangerous,
Getting
if not
girls' numbers
probably
and
more.
shit.
You know what I mean? But I still make fun of the Takeover kids all the time. You know? You're gonna get the heat. You know what I mean? You're gonna get the shit talking. That's just
Yeah,
how it is.
we have to keep making fun of them because hopefully it'll do something.
Yeah. And not for nothing, I had some of them that do come to the school to try to learn how to do it legit, and they're very interested in doing it. But like, I tell them straight up, and they tell me straight up, it's not just like the technique. It's more so like because it's illegal, and it's
Yeah.
like that's the attraction. And
It's like I mean,
I
it's
mean,
like
that's why street
we-
drifting is fun.
Yeah, because
Exactly.
you're doing something that you shouldn't be doing,
Yeah.
and
So
it
it's
looks
like,
fucking
yeah.
sick.
The only
Like,
difference is like
people are getting hurt sometimes.
hitting people and doing
That
donuts
part-
doesn't really
yeah.
seem that fun to me.
that
but,
part freaks me out because I'm like,
And
damn,
even they
man.
say they don't want, like, at least the select few that have come to me, they say that they don't really want people to get hurt. They just want it to somehow turn into something. But they understand that it's like, due to the publicity and the videos, it's going to be a really hard battle. And
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, it's just as long as it took for people to take what we do seriously, it's going to take just as long for you. That's just even if your stuff even lasts. You know what I mean? Like, they'll eventually probably just convert into drifting when they realize that you
They
can
got
do so
like
much
squad.
more
yeah,
quality.
They have
it's-
like squads at police.
yeah,
places
but
for
realistically,
this.
it's just like a lame version of drifting. So I
Yeah.
think eventually, like people that want to do it seriously will go places like you or Chris, and they'll learn how to actually drift, and then they'll probably just stop there. But they'll realize, like, well, okay, well, donuts are kind of boring. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. And the
Yeah.
people that come to, like, for instance, my school and rent my cars, like, it's all types of people. I mean, I have people that come from Manhattan cubicles down to like just a lot of women who are just like normal moms that are just trying to get into it because yeah,
That's crazy.
grandmoms, you know,
That's
kids.
fucking awesome. What the
Yeah.
fuck?
Yeah. It's because the trick is that the one-on-one experience is really what does it.
Yeah,
And you have to
that's
be
what people
personal.
want.
You know, you have to be personal. So like, I definitely
I would
try to like
trust
talk
you.
to them.
I would trust you.
Yeah, I mean that's the whole. I mean that's part of the process, right? You come and I make you feel comfortable. We talk about whatever.
And then you
And
sell me a
then-
condo.
Yeah, yeah, something like that. You know what I mean? Like before doing a lot of that stuff, I really listened to a lot of like podcasts that had to do with like CIA agents and like how they talk to people and all
Wow.
that stuff. And I was like, and I'd be a liar say if I don't use a little bit of that when you're going into it. You know what I mean? It's a lot easier.
Just some brain manipulation
yeah. Well,
techniques.
it's simple because they're going in happy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now, the problem is that like you're not really coming to me for an experience. Like I tell people that on the phone. It's probably not good marketing tactic on my part, but like,
Wait,
like,
you tell them you're not?
like you're not coming for an experience. Like you're coming here to learn.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
some people have asked me like, "Oh, can we do something different?" I'm like, "Nah. If you can't do this line and learn how to hold the line and learn how to like do what I'm telling you to do, like you can't get past this point."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
No, that's good.
Yeah.
That's
So
good.
so you do it in like sections.
yeah.
Like,
Sections
you gotta
are like
learn this before you step to this.
definitely 100%. I mean, you show them different aspects of it, but like I'm not just gonna like, oh, we're not just gonna jump into clutch kicking initiation. Like you don't even know what you're doing. You have no idea what weight transfer is yet, what references that or throttle modulation or any of that stuff. So you really have to start breaking that down. The people that probably have the hardest time at the drift school are usually people that come from some sort of racing discipline already.
Oh, so
stunt
they're not
drivers.
coachable or something?
It's not that they're not coachable. It's just that they've been trained so well to keep their hands on the fucking wheel that when you tell them to steer with your foot and not with your hands, it just like throws them for a loop.
That's interesting. I always tell people that like do grip racing and other stuff. I'm like, dude, you should try drifting. I feel like it would help with car control.
I think it would. I think
just something to have in your back
yeah.
pocket.
And when they learn, the interesting is if you're someone who comes from time attack or any of that stuff that has to do with like actual racing, you know what I mean? And then you start doing drifting, once they figure it out, they become very robotic.
yeah,
There's no style to what they do because they've been trained to be very step by step by step by step.
yeah,
Drifters, we're not. We have like you can see there's like a little lack of discipline, which comes off as style with what
Yeah.
we do. But everyone that comes from some sort of either stunt driving or racing, you can definitely tell like once they figure it out, they do it that way every single time.
that makes sense.
Very calculated.
They are kind of like robots.
Yeah. So you can it's great for tandem,
Yeah,
but like after a while, like I'll watch you once or twice and then I'm not going to watch you anymore because like I just get bored.
it's boring. Yeah,
Yeah.
but
yeah.
it's
drifting
probably,
can get boring. A lot.
depending on who's. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Like you watch some professional drivers and you're like, well,
Yeah.
this is just boring.
I mean, I'm a nerd for techniques for sure. I remember you said that like you're like I like more of like the aesthetics of it all.
yeah, I'm a nerd.
So I came up watching all those option videos. So to me, my perception of what I thought was a good driver is for your car to look so good that you could drive that good, and at the end of the event, your car still looked good.
Yeah, like it wasn't broken.
So it showed like this dude fucking rips.
yeah,
And that's how I took what I saw. So when I see someone look good, but then they drive shitty, I look at that like, okay, well, that's your lack of style. Because to me, you have to have both
yeah,
to fully have that style. You know what I mean? That's why, like, even though I may not be as authentic as some of you guys, you'll look at some of my S13s and you can see the remnants of all those early 90s liveries and stuff like that, because that's what I grew up watching. I just didn't have the change to make that happen. You know what I mean? I wanted to drive because I wanted to link both. I wanted to have style and the driving technique. So when I see people, like now when I watch Final Bout, I see a lot more style and the driving, and now I'm like, okay, now it's complete.
yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what I like. For me, that's what I like to say.
Do you think it's ever gonna, like? Do you think right now, it's like, we're like, it's a peak. It's pretty high right now. The popularity and like the growth of the drifting community. So my immediate thought, I was thinking about this on my drive home the other day, and I was like, what the hell is gonna happen next? Like, is this gonna ever stop?
Probably some insane shit is gonna happen
What's
next.
gonna change?
It's going to get really good.
You think so?
We're not even
Yeah.
Like these kids that are coming out now are going to like the driving, unless like something happens outside of our hands, like when I mean like worldwide, like when it comes to like our countries and shit like that, and like we go through economic failure, and which is a whole other story. But like as long as we're still going, we can still rock out, and we're gonna have another 10 years of drifting, which I think we still will. Like by the next 8 years, we're gonna see some kids come out, some dudes come out that are just like the driving's just gonna go through the roof. I mean, just look at history. Look at what drifting was 10 years ago.
That's what I'm saying.
And look at it now.
And you watch those videos and stuff, and like the modifications, they weren't like now. It's like
Yeah, dude. The
Like
the
that's
car
like-
modifications are wild.
but
Yeah.
that's what to me.
But that's because of the growth of, again, that's another thing. That's a byproduct of the growth of the popularity. So now, because of that growth, it has given
More aftermarket.
has given more aftermarket, more business,
Yeah.
more
Yeah.
people to get. I was talking to Frankie earlier. I see everything come to my school: FDF, YSFAB, PBM, makeshift. I saw everything. The problem is the driver.
Literally.
If you're good, you can. Now it becomes a preference.
yeah.
Oh, I want this kit because I just like the way it feels.
it's because I saw this person on YouTube with this.
That's what
stuff.
it's become.
Yeah.
And the real people, I think you should, I don't know, we can maybe point the blame at that maybe don't realize they're doing it, but they're doing it, is the companies that sponsor kind of direct, because they're the ones that have the money. They're the ones that are like saying, oh, this is the person we're going to have endorsed for this. But because the person behind the screen that's given the okay isn't a drifter, doesn't know what real drifting is, doesn't know how to distinguish good from bad, all they see is numbers on Instagram.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that's just the world we live in now. Like something's gonna come up, it's gonna reformat, and like
Yeah.
it's just gonna grow. Like,
Those old videos where the modifications aren't beyond reach, at least for some like normal dude, to me, that tells me I can go do that. Like I can be cool just like that, just because I have all the shit. Now,
Yeah.
Like you
back then it was probably like, whoa, like you have aftermarket knuckles, like, but now it's like, oh,
I think we just wanted to be more like the Japanese drivers that we saw back then. So we were just trying to buy everything and import because we thought getting all that stuff would make us better
Yeah.
or make us more authentic.
yeah,
But now I think we've adopted more of what we should have done, which is like take your normal Z or BRZ or whatever rear-wheel drive car that's available in your area right now that's cheap and slightly modify it enough and drift it. Because my drift cars are, you don't get in them and like think it's a drift car, like other than like the Hydra that's in there. But everything else is pretty like, oh, I could totally, that's the feeling. I could go buy one of these.
yeah,
Like it doesn't look like, oh, this is a full-blown drift car. And that's the selling point. Like you jump in the car and you're like, I can do this. This is under 10 grand.
Yeah.
that's that's not even that much money nowadays. That's the shittiest thing.
Yeah.
Like,
So when you tell them that, like, oh,
Yeah.
you go buy a BMW, buy a G35, buy a 350Z, it's going to cost you under 10 grand, all said and done. Depending what part of the country. I'm just saying.
yeah, that has a
currently,
huge factor.
That's a
in
huge
it.
factor.
Huge factor in it.
But in most places, I feel like if you're lucky, that's what you're going to be spending. You can get in, and if you know how to manage your tires and have a water pit and all that stuff, and like you're going to really do what we should have done. Like, so the way I calculate it is I've been doing this for almost 2 decades.
Mm-hmm.
The people that I've taught in the last 5 years, because we've been able to fast track them, by the time they hit the 10-yard mark, theoretically, they should already be where I'm at now.
Yeah.
So, like, imagine how much better people will get.
That and for those of you listening, I feel like we just kind of glazed over this, but you run Drift School Evergreen. That's what the name is on Instagram.
Yeah, Drift School Evergreen.
Drift School. How long have you been doing that? So, because you mentioned you drove Pro-Am, so then I'm assuming it developed into this eventually.
Yeah, in 2017, I went out to California to Drift 101 to go work underneath Naoki at Willow Springs.
Okay,
And I just hit him
that
up.
sounds
And
sick. What the
Yeah.
hell was that like?
it was great. I went over there, super, super nice guy, very Californian. So he definitely was like, you're very East Coast, just by the way. I came off.
Showed
So
up.
was he like the first drift school?
I
over
think
there?
he was. I
What
think
was it called?
It's Drift School 101. It still exists. Like, I still know people that go to that. You know
That's
what I mean?
sick.
I think Cole Mannon went there. I'm pretty sure. That's where Cole went, and when he was like young too. But
Yeah, it's been there for like, I want to say over 10.
Is it the same deal? They have cars there that you can.
Same thing. Same thing. Like it all like, so it happened then. I was like, let me go see if I can make this happen. But the only reason that I even thought this could happen is because I had all of that training with Club Loose. Like I was instructing at Club Loose like 2010, 2011. So I got to like sharpen my skill and really practice that craft for like almost a decade. You know what I mean? Or whatever, like 6 years or something like that before I said, oh, let me go see if I can make this a real thing. You know, because I started getting invited to do these clinics and stuff like that. I'm like, so I did it pro bono for free for like years and years and years.
Just because you like doing it?
Just because I like doing it. Because that's how Club Loose trained me, you know? Like, hey, this is what you're going to do to be part of the club.
Yeah.
So, like, you help the future. So, like, then it manifested into a career. You know what I mean? Which I never thought it. I mean, it's a struggle. I mean, I'm not saying it's like I'm like walking. Yeah. It's a business.
Yeah.
Doing anything in the drifting community as a living is definitely you know.
I'm trying to find the fucking
struggle of
balance
some
there,
sort.
dude.
Yeah.
Where we can make money and also drift.
Yeah, it's called a business and learn how to write shit off.
Yeah.
Like,
But at the end of the day, it's like it's not, you know,
yeah.
it's not crazy. But
No.
at least you're doing what you want to do every day. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I get to do that, and then I'm blessed because I have that sponsor, Ed Thompson from Cool Cat Motorsports, that lets me drive that 350Z.
Okay.
And that thing's like an X Formula drift car, and that's a full ride, bro. Like I'm so blessed. I tell him all the time, like, thank you so much, because I don't pay for that. Like,
So,
I couldn't afford driving.
Like tires and everything.
Bro, the whole thing. It's an arrive and drive.
Damn. And when do you get to drive that car? Like, do you do it?
So
do you have that car?
I
with you?
drove it. I don't personally. He has it over in Maryland. I drove it all in 2021 when I did clutch kickers.
Oh, okay.
You know, I did that which was awesome to do that. I missed that a little bit. Different driving. I wish we would have done some things to the car, but we were just learning the car, and it was like the first time I competed in like 7 years. The most nerve-wracking comp that year was coming to the Gambler, because I always judged the Gambler.
Oh.
So then when I got to compete, I was like, damn, all of these kids know how I drive. Like, they're gonna murder me. You know what I mean? And it was probably the most nerve-wracking comp that I did that year, was to come home to try to drive against like the people that know me best. Because I'm like, any one of these just can take me out.
I feel like
Yeah.
that would make it more fun for me. I
Yeah.
definitely like the
It was
competition.
fun. Yeah.
I
The
would
trash
love
talking
that.
was great. In the pits, it was sick.
See?
It
Yeah.
was so good.
Oh, dude.
Everybody knew the deal. You know what I mean? But some good jokes went down. I forgot them all, but it was some heaters out there. It was nice. Yeah.
I like the competition side of it.
I do, but I
also
I
like
don't.
fucking around with my friends
Yeah.
and stuff, and like just enjoying driving. I still enjoy it, but
Yeah,
I know
when you can mix the two together, like Final Bout or Super D did, it's a lot better.
I just know that like there has to be a reason why I'm doing something.
before it was try to get a Group A.
Yeah.
yeah.
See,
for
like
me,
that's a goal
for me.
too.
That's what
like,
it was. Like I remember they told us in Club Loose, like, we don't do competitions because we never want to pit our brothers against one another. Like, you never want it to get to the point where you're pitted against one, in a competition, or even let that even breed. So that's why we always kept fun events going. And think about it. Like, the majority of people that are in that are in Pro Spec or from
I don't
Club
know
Loose.
anything about that.
They're
stuff.
from they're from Club. I mean, look at Rich Whiteman's from Club Loose. Ricky
Yeah.
Hoffman. I mean, look at it. There's a lot of them that are in there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like that type of what they do at Club Loose and what we've been pushing over there, I think really breeds a lot of good drivers.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least in our area. Yeah.
When I watch The Gambler, because that I do watch. When I watch The Gambler, I like that since there is a standard and like you're in competition, since there is a standard, there's a bigger expectation that you're going to go somewhere. Like I can anticipate more
Right.
if I was driving.
Right.
Just because like sometimes when I'm at Evergreen or something like that and we're just boogieing along, I'm like, damn, I wish he pushed out there more or like
Right.
what have you.
That's
But
more of a because Evergreen is definitely more of a party.
I love it. It has
type
taught
of
me
vibe
so
over
many
there.
different things.
Yeah.
Like, and it's a small course, but literally packed with tons of different things.
It's definitely grown a lot, over the last couple of years.
There was
being there
100
so
and I think like 15 drivers there when I was there for their opener.
it's their own culture over there for sure.
I like how it's like literally in a little valley.
Yeah,
Have
it's
you ever
you
been
gotta
there,
go.
Frank?
I haven't been there, but he's been trying to get. Because I realized you've been trying to get me to go there for like multiple years now, and then you just started talking about it this year with me.
Well, Daryl got me into it. He would be going there and he would come home, and this is always the selling point for me. He's like, yeah, I got like 50 laps. And I'm like, 50? Like 50? And he's like, yeah, like if the track is hot, we're driving. And I'm like, that's sick. Like, what the fuck? And then I looked at the track, and the infield isn't just like a. In 2 weeks, I'm going to Shenandoah Speedway for a private day. And
Oh, this guy's got money.
hey, yo,
Whoa, I'm sorry, we didn't get that invite yet. Okay.
well, I actually.
Oh wow.
Malcolm, do I tell him?
Oh,
Malcolm's going too. Wow.
oh, oh, Malcolm's going.
Wow.
Oh,
Frankie.
everyone's
Wow.
going. Wow. See what happens? You fucking give everyone everything, and then they just take
Everything.
it, they take it and run. And they don't.
I learned and applied some knowledge that I learned from being here, and I built my car.
And you didn't invite me?
It was literally a today.
Wait, so that's the
knowledge.
one that's the oval?
It's a oval. So my intention is, one, we're gonna go celebrate my buddy's birthday, Serge. What's up? But two, I've never been there, so fun.
Right.
Three, I heard that the oval, the infield, wears the tires 0.
Probably.
So then I also know that you can tandem there, and I really want to get some time with Daryl.
Wait till you see. Wait till you see. First of all, stop going to ovals. Second of all, wait till you see the view. It's a crazy. You been there?
Yeah.
Isn't it
I've done some
crazy when you
clinics
pull
and
in
stuff
there?
Yeah. You have the little river next to it and everything.
Yeah, and the mountain right there.
I've looked up no photos of it. I just know it's a flat in.
Photos won't do any justice anymore.
But here's okay. I know it is an oval, but I want to
We're
like.
just trying to get you to go to Club Loose, man.
I just want to drive with Daryl for a little. Like if we really
guys
want
drive all
to
the
do
time.
this, if we really want to do, not really. If we do this, if we really want to see something with this, I want to do something where I'm like, okay, let's work on this, or let's go do that. So like I'm gonna go there with intention of driving with people, like driving.
Look, man, where's my invite?
We'll talk after this.
Well, I mean, you guys should bring like well, over at the school. Like, if you bring your own car, if you bring buddies with you, like I do, the max I do is 4 people, and then you get a discount. So at that point, it's like you're there for the 4 hours, but it's like $175 because you got 4 people with you. Yeah.
Now he got his wheels spinning.
Well, no, because I think I remember a buddy of mine, Quan, was going to do something, but I think something had come up. But yeah, no, I also just like going to the events. I just know I'm going to go to Evergreen if it's an event.
I mean, yeah, the events are like
They're
the
fun.
events are like, and I love how they do that comp in the middle for like 2 hours real quick.
Yo, it's for me,
like in
just
and
because
out.
I know I'm not getting in there. I just know I
Wait,
can
so you
sit.
don't do the comp there?
No.
You should. Just
Yeah,
for
you
fun.
probably should.
That's a very relaxed kind of. I think it's really good to kind of like, haha, we're doing a comp, but it's like.
I like that it's
you
a
get the feeling of it.
I like
Yeah.
that it's a buyer drive buy-in.
Yeah.
I love that.
I was just gonna say you learn yourself as a driver when you enter a competition.
Yeah.
You learn a lot about
You
yourself.
start to realize what type of driver you are.
Yeah, because things can change real quick. Like you're all of a sudden you're gonna be like, well, now I'm driving with a purpose,
Yeah.
and you could either get real aggressive or make crazy mistakes that you didn't know you were gonna make.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the mindset's like always like when I spot for people, because I spotted an FT and that was always a thing. Like no matter if it's FT or Pro-Am, or even when I had a Auto Real Dream that came by before they went to find about and got 3rd place.
I remember that.
I was just like, you guys just gotta like chill. Just gotta be calm and realize like if you time everything correctly, like drifting it's magic.
That was the one they did that I was a judge for, I guess. New Hampshire? Where was it? Connecticut. Thompson.
Yeah.
Right?
I think so, yeah.
Dude, I was watching their driving, obviously. Dude, it was so consistent.
Yeah.
And they just kept going out. So the whole thing was like you didn't have to, you just had to go out and get some laps in with your team. And then that was it.
Wait,
they
but-
went out every single lap. And they kept going out and out and out. I'm like texting Seb. I'm like, dude, you guys are good. Stop going out. Because you're just waiting for them to fuck up. But they never fucked up.
No.
It was so weird.
And that's what they were doing at Evergreen. We just kept on. I kind of look at it like as long as you put in the time, as long as you take the jump shots, like you're
Yeah.
gonna get good.
It was crazy. They were super consistent, man.
True baller right there.
And then Front Street goes out and just crash into each other every lap. So
Yeah, but they won this time.
yeah,
Dude,
they were fucking on point.
This is what I saw. I parked at a bad spot first thing in the morning. I parked at a bad
Let me
spot.
pause you real quick. They were on point because there was 3 of them, not 5.
True.
That's
you get
really
don't
what
you
it
get more
was.
points if there's more people?
No, I don't think so. But you should. I don't know if
I
that's
thought that
a
was
thing.
part of it. I thought like the more people you got,
I never heard of that, but that'd be cool.
because it's more difficult.
Yeah, it's way more difficult.
I
Anyway,
don't know how that works.
All faction aligned. But I pulled up and I watched a bunch of cars go by, and I didn't really think of it. I was like, oh, like people are drifting now, cool. And then Front Street came by. I remember Josh was in front and Tom was behind. I don't see anything, but I know it's Tom, like his car. Like I know the sound. And then here he comes.
You just hear the engine. Help me!
And then I look at Daryl and I'm like, yo, Front Street's gonna win this shit.
Yeah.
Like I was like, damn, that looked really fucking good.
Yeah, the cars are pretty dialed right now. They literally both did engine swaps before they went there. So,
I was there when he blew it up.
Oh yeah.
I was like, damn, that sucks.
Which one?
The last one ever. It was at Club Loose.
Josh or Tom?
Josh.
Yeah.
And it filled up with like antifreeze, and I was like, yeah, it's gonna suck.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
pretty much did the same thing my engine did, and he was like, yeah, it's probably just a head gasket. And the whole time I'm thinking, that shit probably detonated.
Is he ever gonna lower his car?
Lower it? Never.
Damn.
It's only gonna get higher.
Why?
I don't know, man.
He's like, yo, if I'm saying something,
It looks cool. It looks cool. Like I think it looks
I get why
cool.
he does it. I see. I just
He
like,
made it look
when I
great.
look at that S13 and behind him, like again, it reminds me of like that
Era.
That era.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know what
yeah.
I mean, but I get why they do what they do.
Yeah.
I miss what I miss.
I like that.
I just feel bad for Josh because my car's never changing from that. Because I feel the same way when I look at this photo in the office. I'm just like, that's my favorite photo of my car. I wish I had the same wheels on the back, but that was like, when I saw that photo, I was like, well, I'm good. And that was, I raised it up, because
Right.
my car used to be like stupid and not functional.
You guys used to break a lot.
Yeah. But now it's like,
I'm like, you guys are idiots. Raise your car. But I liked how it looked. You know what I mean?
I don't even think I'd like how it looked now if I went back. Because I feel like it's just too low.
Do you
That
think,
right there
Do you think with
looks-
time we just mature and we're just like, raise it?
I think it's, well, for me, what happens is like, I'll see a car that's really low. Like, I hate to keep roasting Cole, but like Cole Mannon has a really low 180 SX, and it looks cool, like for a street car driving. But like, I know he drifts, and I know he wants to drift it. So when I see it, I'm just like, no. Like right away, I'm just like,
I get
a
it.
half an inch.
There,
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I have that. Like now I just have this weird thing in my mind where like I know where an S13 should sit to look good, but still drive okay. You know what I mean? Obviously, it's never going to be drive as well as like front street cars,
Right.
but there's a happy middle ground, like where you can just.
But front street cars are more set up for a certain style of driving.
it's
Yes,
a very
but
aggressive, like
no matter what, if your cars are higher in the air, the suspension's going to work better.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's way more suspension
Yeah.
geometry that's going on. Yeah, for sure.
But
Yeah,
the one
it's-
guy's car that I was in, the one who drove for Auto Real Dream,
I get.
this
Yeah,
past
you could do a
weekend.
lot of modifications to make it.
I'm telling
work.
you, maybe it was just in that situation, it's like the perfect storm, right? Since he has low power, having a lot of rear camber, which I think he had like a lot. Thing was on the ground, dude. And maybe since he has a low amount of power with the KA, that it like maybe helps it keep
Well,
it spinning.
It's
like-
momentum drifting for
yeah.
sure.
Like you were talking about earlier off the podcast, you were saying like. Actually, I think you brought it up now. You were just like, you could just make it work. You know what I mean? Like, if you're a
He
good
was
driver,
making
you
it
just
work.
make it work.
Hell yeah, he
Like-
was working the shit out of
But
that thing.
I draw the line when it comes to when people ask me like, what's your deciding factor with an angle kit? And I'm just like, if my wheels poke out,
Oh,
no.
Then it's done.
Sorry.
you mean like
Yeah.
this?
If I have to get over fenders because that shit's poking out like some crazy Mexican, like,
Mexipoke.
yeah, I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Then it's
I
not.
cannot, like, what?
Yeah, I mean that's
What?
how we were too. That's why we made Justin and Scott get the Type 3 overfenders.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
God those overfenders came out at
Yeah,
that
you know,
time.
And like the thing is, like, I don't know, like calm cars, and even then, dude, like, yeah, the first thing I did when they gave me, because the 350Z that I drive, the Cool Cat Motorsports car, is the Siki manufacturing 350Z,
Yeah.
and it had the first gen Y-SPAP kit on it. My deciding factor when I realized how much it poked and how raised it was, I was like, yeah, it has to go.
Bro, I
It's the
hate
first thing that's going.
hate that first Wisefab kit so much.
Now the thing is, I know now you have Ackerman adjustment and you can get it to self steer.
The new one is probably not that bad.
It's probably not that bad, but if it pokes,
It still will.
I'm out.
Yeah. You need to resize.
Out, bro.
Dude, they both. Scott had that kit on. He still has that kit on his car. We had to get like some.
This is Scott's car right
We had to get some crazy sized fucking front wheels that were like those would never fit on a normal car ever.
Probably like
That's
plus
what I'm
60.
saying, bro.
They'd be sunken into like
But
all
for
hell.
like, but if it's gonna be for like comps and all, I don't know.
Yeah, well, that's the other
just-
thing. It's like
Aesthetics are just a thing for me.
you can make like talking about that guy with the low car. It's like, yeah, you can make it drift. Like I can make any whatever, just make it drift. It's not a big deal. But when you go to compete, then you're gonna realize how bad your car is.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're never gonna compete,
He was driving the shit out of it though.
yeah.
But there's still a lot of dependence on the person behind the wheel.
But once you tell me about the camber in the rear, then you put a properly set up car against him. It's not even a shot.
Yeah,
in
because
hell.
the surging in tandem and final belt is way different than what you'll see at like our comps. Like, I look at competition drifting kind of like a dogfight in like airplane. That's what that shit is.
Hell yeah.
I think what I don't like about competition drifting, and I won't mention any names, but it's some people, they play dirty. Like you're battling, and there's going to be some people that want to choke you or kind of play games, and that may or may not be part of the game. You know what
break
I mean?
check here and
They'll
there.
break little something here, or and I get it. But then there's legal things, like for instance, like if you have a YSPAB kit, like I remember Alec Honadale, he would throw a lot of angle before this one transition. But if I were to try to match that angle, I'm just going to choke myself. So like you're playing chess. Like I know my strength with that PBM kit that I was running is that if I wind up just right and time it just right, his transition's theoretically going to be slower because he doesn't have any scrub. So he has to walk that wheel back over. I have inertia on my side, so I have to just team it up, and then he won't get away from me. It happened a couple times, but then other times, like you'll fall for it, and then and some people may not even know what the hell we're talking about right now, but that's what I'm saying. Competition drifting gets to that point, and then like the club loose party mode stuff, or what you'll see at final bout, that's like a whole other thing. I think the tire consumption is actually a lot less doing that type of stuff than the comp stuff, because the comp, you're trying to get everything out of your car.
Yeah.
You're trying to do so many things at one time, and so it's two, at least for me, I think it's two different things.
And that's like the only way you could do a final bout one. Like if they pitted people against each other, that shit would be a mess.
Yeah. It's a certain type of person.
Yeah, because a lot of the teams have cars that are like set up similar to each other. That way they can drive, at least pretty decent with each other and not, But if you start setting up different, you take one guy from this team, it's like, all right, well, if this guy's slammed and has -7 degrees of camber in the back, and the other guy's set up like Tom's car, what are we doing?
Work. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
If in that situation, if I was Tom, I would have to know that. Like I would see it.
Well, Tom
and
would just destroy him.
I'd be like, oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
Actually, Tom gave me 2 hugs this past weekend. It was really nice to me. I don't know who showed him the podcast where I said, hey, man, I don't know if you fuck with me.
Oh, really?
But literally gave me a hug.
Did he
as
bring
soon
that
as I
up?
see him. No.
Oh,
but
shit.
I know somebody
Oh, he
must
might
have.
have listened to that one. 'cause
Somebody
Alex
must
is on.
have.
Yeah.
And I was like, God damn it, I shouldn't have said anything.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, did Final Bout ever do one where they put people against each other? I think Super D.
I mean,
was the
Super
only
D
one.
would be your closest
Yeah.
thing to that.
To be honest with you, that shit was really fun.
Wait, but when we went, they had solo one. Like people went against each other.
Yeah, I think that
from
was
different teams.
Was that a special stage?
No, it was the end. It was in September. Remember?
Yeah.
But
Which we're going to this year.
That's
We're
a certain
going.
niche. I think those work, but it has to be a certain niche, or you have to wait for that niche to grow more and more and more.
Well, I
in order
mean,
to pull that stuff off.
what's happening right now is actually kind of perfect because it's like most of the cars that were going to Final Bout kind of were all similar. They were low. They weren't really set up very, very properly for drifting. They were just more set up to look good and drift. But now you got like Front Street in there. I remember there was another team too that was pretty good, and their cars were taller and set up right. It's like, okay, so now you're bringing these two different like subgenres of drifting together.
It's crazy.
And you're putting them in competition with each other. I don't know. We'll see how
it's
it
gonna
goes.
Get very diplomatic. soon.
Yeah, like I feel like it's gonna get
This is
kind of
America.
weird. It's gonna be like, okay, we're gonna have to split this up because
and that's the thing. Like, see, I think in Japan, and I could be wrong because I've never been there. I think my perception in Japan, people are more accepting of all that, or it's like, oh, we're gonna go over here, we're gonna have our Toyota day, we're gonna have our Nissan day. But in America, it's like, nah, this is what we do here. Fuck off. You know what I mean?
I
Like,
would
I
love
definitely
a
feel like
little-
there's an underlining of that.
I would love a little Toyota meeting day. That'd be
I think
awesome.
it'd be
Of course
cool.
you would.
You know what I mean? It's. I think
Everybody's got ball joint, bolt on knuckle kits. It's great.
wheels falling off.
Nah. because we all just did them the night before.
But ultimately, what I think is going to really push drifting is this. I mean, I know it's crazy to think, but those Mustangs and Corvettes are just, you have no idea what they're doing right now. It's paving the way for a whole new demographic of like 40 and up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The dads.
Yeah. And they're into it. And
they're
then there's
coming.
there are ones that are into like the shit you do.
Oh no.
And they're like, oh, they look at it like, wait. So it's like riding a 2-stroke motorcycle
Oh no.
or a 2-stroke dirt bike. And I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what it's like.
Yeah, get rid of that V8.
You know what I mean? They're like, why would you switch up? I'm like, there's different techniques that are open, but you just have to have like a different setup for it, you know? And they're interested in that stuff. Some people are just all about it.
That's
know?
sick. Like the fact that you mentioned like a 40 and up crowd. You're
Yeah.
talking about an age, right?
Yeah.
Not like
And they come to the
drink.
school because they're just like, okay, I'm not going to go to a normal like Club Loose event or something, because they're just like, I feel I fit out of place. They openly say it. I just fit out of place. Or like the wife will buy a 4-hour session for their husband.
That's so funny.
And then they ask like, yo, so how can I get this? And blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yo, you can go find a Mustang. Or, you know, you have to read the room, what they're into.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And another guy's like, I'm going to get a 350Z or I'm going to get a G35, you know? But it's cool that they're getting into that.
No, I love
You know what
that.
I mean, like it's completely different. I don't know what's going to come. Again, it sounds cool, but there's going to be pros and cons to that eventually.
It's
They're
like,
just
no, I mean, like,
they're taking all my drag strips.
no, I feel like it would be like, those are the guys that are probably, I don't know, it's like this or golf, dude.
yeah.
Like, so then
Yeah.
like you go do this, and like they if this is your hobby, then you're going to treat it like a hobby that you like doing.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of
Hopefully.
that, and we do have a lot of that too, where people are like, we're mad about drifting coming to Evergreen.
Yeah.
I think, again, I don't really go to a lot of the Drift Evergreen events
Mm-hmm.
because Club Loose overlaps, and sometimes I'm just working doing a different gig somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
But I have gone here and there at a couple of them. But on my normal class days, sometimes I'll have people that show up to do the normal modified races or the late modifieds or endurance racing, whatever they do there. And I'll talk to them, and a lot of them are fully aware that drifting is a strong contributor to keep that track up and going.
Yep.
And historically keep that stuff. And I tell them, like, I'm pretty sure every drifter that comes here, sir, wants historically your stuff to still keep going. You know, it's cool to know that those people have been there since like the 50s.
Dude, I was upset about the drag strip at E-Town.
Yeah. But but I understand why he did it. You know what I mean? Like the overhead, like you could do the drag races unless I'm wrong. But the way I heard it was a company came or whatever.
Seemed like
the
it was just
auction
a good
place.
deal.
It was a good deal. You
Right?
know what I mean?
Yeah.
And even if you did do the drag strip stuff and you can make a lot of money, well, now you got all the overhead. You have to pay all the people, you know, and like the
And all
cost
the
starts.
stress.
Yeah, exactly. Here it's like you just give it off, and it's like, and you're gonna have people that don't agree with it. I see it all the time on Facebook. It's
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think that's just the way it goes. You know.
I like that they kept what they kept and used it for how they used it. Now.
I don't like the figure eight.
You don't like it?
No,
I like that they used it though.
no. I just do not like the figure eight.
It's not for
Not
you.
for me.
It's not doing it for you.
It's
What
just
would you have
so-
rather seen
I don't
done
know.
there?
I don't think you could really do anything else.
You, I mean, I don't know. Pay every last inch of it, or I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I just think I know why they did it. From a business perspective, it makes total sense.
Yeah.
Do it there. Everyone can see it. And I get it. And if you want to see the cool stuff, you go across the street and you go watch the road course.
Oh,
Fair.
yeah.
I
Hell
get
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So they covered every single base. Obviously, we always want something to get more and more intense, more and more better. You know, I want more difficult tracks. But that's because I've been doing this for fucking ever.
Have you driven the figure eight?
I've driven it like one time, but I'm
Okay.
just like, but the risk factor is just so big there. Like if you
Yeah,
biff
that
it on
too.
the wall, then that's it. I don't figure eight.
Yeah, I know.
You know what
I
I
feel the same exact way you do, but when I watch Formula D there, I'm like, okay, this is like kind of cool.
Yeah,
That-
I think that's different. At
That's
that
pretty much the only thing where I'm like, okay, this is.
point. And the gamblers are cool because it's setting people up to go to Formula Drift.
Yeah.
Because there is people that do that.
For me,
that
I'm
don't
just
want-
like, okay, well, it's a figure eight, so how can we make this exciting? Well, let's just put 2,000 horsepower fucking cars on it. That'll probably be exciting.
Fireworks.
Like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, okay, this is kind of entertaining. But yeah, like I have no interest to drive that. You know what I mean? But
Watching Formula Drift there is probably as close as you're gonna get to like monster truck.
yes,
That's
Yeah.
monster truck drifting.
that's how I feel when I was watching Formula Drift.
And it's cool. And
It
I'm
is.
all about it.
Yeah.
You know. But I'm like, would I do it? I don't know.
And when they did the Bloodmaster Invitational and they ran it from the other side,
That was cool.
That was cool.
That was cool.
That looked
for
scary as hell.
Yeah, that's why it was cool.
Yeah, that was cool.
That looked terrifying.
That was
'cause-
cool because of the vibes, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're shooting fire and stuff.
Yeah, it was
Like that-
yeah,
that- that
it's
was awesome.
Yeah, that was
invitational.
sick.
Like that you know somebody had to pull that stop.
Yeah, they
Like
got the.
it'd be really dope.
They had the dudes from the Motley Crue set on there, just fucking
Sick.
pyrotechnic crew.
sick.
No, I made that up, but that would be sick if they did.
That's what I was playing when I met Reese. I was literally when he was working grid at No Fear Moves, and I pulled up to the grid and I was like, "Can I do a sight lap?" And then he was like, "Yeah." And then I went to turn 1 and I was like, "Wait, this looks pretty okay." And then I drifted it. And then he was like, "What kind of sight lap was that?" And I was like, "Sorry."
It's
Yeah,
great because at Club Loose you can be a dick and it's okay.
Yeah, I fucking was
I
like,
love
I
it.
mean, yeah, I mean,
That was at Club Loose. You did that?
Yeah, No Fear Moves.
Yeah, North Fear Moves.
Oh,
The kart
yeah.
track?
So we're
Okay.
slightly nicer at that.
Yeah, yeah.
Is that the deal?
Dude, I love that.
At least that's what it was for me. Yo, I earned my right to be a dick. Yo, they were dicks to me when I first started. So
Dude, that's
I've
fine.
earned my right to do it to people, right?
Yeah.
I feel like it
I'm
just
still
keeps
nice about it. You know?
it keeps the East Coast sane. and
Dude, I
balanced.
love No Fear Moves, man. I wish they did more of them. I love that parking lot.
Well, I think Chris said he's going to do something in November.
Yeah, I hope he does, because I don't know, man. I love that lot. I think it's fun.
Will Frankie's car be done? That's in a few months.
Yeah, you got to get that done, champ.
Here we go.
Every fucking guest, dude.
Oh yeah, we already talked about it before.
Yeah.
Every guest.
He's like, it's been like 2 years. I'm like,
I thought it was 3.
It's getting on 3. It's
damn,
going on 3.
Trey ball, dog.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude.
Yep.
Look at that.
That's all he
I'm pointing
needs.
at the
That's
picture
all he
in the
needs.
office to those listening.
Oh yeah, we got
And
people
look at that
complaining
and
about the
stuff.
shit now. They're like, "Oh, you guys got to get the video on Spotify, this and that." I'm like, "Listen, man,
Wow.
I'll
it's
just
not that easy."
I'll just
That's a good
describe
thing,
the
though.
picture here. It's the Silver Sea Cow.
Okay.
Front brake locked up.
I do
Hand
like it.
brake locked up. It's basically skidding out of control
Towards the wall.
towards a wall, but then magically Frankie Bovino is gonna pilot the cow down the hill and then up and over to the next turn.
Wait, what did we call your car?
No.
The Blue Waffle?
No, see, that's
Really?
exactly why I fucking
It's
didn't
called
want
the Blue
to.
Waffle.
I guess, dude.
That's
Everybody
rough.
got a fucking
That's a
cool
throwback.
name except for me.
No!
AJ's the Copper Nickel, and then what
Copper
is-
Nickel's not cool.
that sounds sick.
Miyagi's the only one. What is
What's
it?
Miyagi's?
Red Trout.
The
What is
Red
it?
Trout
Red
sounds
Trout.
awesome.
That sounds pretty good.
And then
Yeah.
the Yellow Goose, that's sick.
That's
Yellow
like, it
Goose.
seems like a brand that you get over at like Bass Pro Shop
Yeah.
or something.
Red Trout.
The Red Trout.
I
I
like
check
the-
out my Red Trout.
I personally, I like the Copper Nickel. I thought that was funny because it
Dude,
makes no sense.
I am not the Blue Waffle. No,
You're the Blue Waffle.
can't. I will work on it. I don't like the waffle.
Let's ask the audience if you think Carl's name for his car Blue Waffle is
I'm gonna
a
go
really
check
good
this
one.
chat when this goes.
No,
live.
don't leave a comment in the chat. Leave a comment on his photographs on Instagram.
I feel bad for everyone who doesn't know what Blue Waffle is. That's checking it out.
There was
now.
probably
Yeah, Google
a
it.
portion of the internet right now that has no idea what the fuck that is. You just ruined
Yeah.
somebody's life.
It
Next thing you
happens.
know, they're watching Two Girls, One Cup.
No, dude. The way I found that was I
Went there.
overheard my older cousins.
How
were
old
like,
are you? How old are you in that? you
Uh,
must have been a young boy.
14.
Yeah, you were young.
Like my older cousins were like 21 and 22 and shit.
Yo, look at this.
And they were, it was at a family party, and I heard them in the computer room,
Nothing beats
and I was like, "What the fuck?" And they were like, "Nah, get out of here, get out of here." And then I went home and looked it up.
nothing beats the Pain Olympics.
That was,
Wow, you really went there.
Yeah,
I
dude.
forgot all about that.
Yeah, hey, sorry. Yeah, there it is.
Yo, speaking of painful, I'm not.
what
don't know
does
if
this
this is
mean?
true or
Where?
not.
What are you going?
I don't know if this is true, and it has to do with drifting, specifically D1.
Okay.
I'm not going
Okay.
to say who told me this, but I very much respect this. Group
This
of
is this is an
individuals.
alleged. This is an alleged
I'm
situation.
pretty sure it's true. I don't know. Just by the. I
It
don't
just
think
sounds
these
like
guys
we
would
should
lie to
just
me.
say it's allegedly.
So all right, allegedly.
There
So,
we go.
They were like, yo, I used to tell them like, yeah, I was really into like watching all the D1 stuff, the Grand Prix and all that stuff when I was younger, and they're all. And they,
Where's this gonna go?
yo, and they deadly came out to they dead ass came out to me and they were just like, yo, you know all that stuff was staged,
Wait, shut the fuck up.
bro. That's exactly the face. I don't know if they're fucking with me to this day, and they're probably gonna laugh when they hear this. But like they were like, that was all staged. Do you really think like no? They're all good drivers, but like they all picked who was gonna win before.
Like wrestling?
yeah,
Shut
No,
the
that is
fuck up.
not.
bro. That's what they were telling me, and I'm like, yo, shut the fuck up. And yo, by the end of it, they had me convinced, and I was like, oh my god. So I'm putting it out there to see if somebody can figure
No,
this out.
because I'm
Dude,
gonna go
that's
home and I'm gonna
crazy.
see these
I
videos
know,
on my
yo,
YouTube
they
feed.
the next day, right? they saw me because I was there working the gig, and they were like, "Yo, how you?" They could see I was just like
Distraught.
like, cause I'm like, "You mean Kazama and Taniguchi?" They're like, "Nah, they were all in on it." I'm like, so they're older than me, so you know. But they definitely like. I was like, I went home like, this is fucked up, dude. And
My whole life
were
is a
laughing.
lie.
Nah, I know. Now I'm like,
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
like realizing like all the pro wrestlers are fake all of a sudden.
why I knew. I feel like I knew that.
I feel like we all knew that.
No, but
Bro,
like
the-
if
the-
you didn't know,
Triple
I
H
know.
isn't getting powers from doing a pedigree or whatever the fuck that he does.
you
Like,
sure?
that was a thing,
Triple H's like signature move was a pedigree.
right?
Where
I knew that.
yeah. But like
got
for
powers
and,
from
and
it?
and what is the people's elbow gonna do?
It's
How
for
many
the
times you got to
people.
run around the ring before you land on
I don't
somebody?
know.
That's
You're
unnecessary.
very true.
you
I used
know?
to always wonder, like, why is Hulk Hogan leg dropping you that bad? I'm like, nah, just get it. It's
Well,
like, it's a
the-
leg drop. Just get up.
I
No.
went
When
to
we were
one of
young, I think we
those.
thought it was real though. Like I remember
yeah.
watching at my cousin's house. They always used to watch a lot of wrestling.
You know what I saw? You know what else I thought was real? D1 until these fuckers came and told me that it wasn't.
Dude, I don't know. We need someone to.
I
That's why I'm
know,
putting it
so-
out there. I feel like
Yeah.
with this group of people, somebody's gonna be like, "Yeah, they were bullshitting you."
Yeah.
And I'm gonna feel way
No,
better.
I want to see somebody who goes,
Could you
yeah,
imagine,
that's
bro?
true.
What if like
Ruined my
what
whole
if,
life.
Like, what if 4chan just comes here and just takes us down? They're just like, yeah, they know too much.
They know too much.
No. See, we talked a lot about. Okay,
So Chia hits us up. What are you guys doing? Perfect English, bro.
we
Perfect English. What are you guys talking about? We gotta take this down.
Yeah.
We gotta take this down.
Shit.
Not about it.
fuck red
Know your
button, red
place.
button, red button, red button.
Damn, that really could happen.
It could. He walks in here, know your place, shuts everything down.
Dude, I okay. So
Sorry in advance, guys.
all of this shit is. If that's true, it just ruins it for me a lot.
It does. But you know what?
It's
But-
not going to change how I like it and what I like now.
Right.
But it would suck.
It would, yo, and he's like, yeah, think about all the times they were all like, ha ha ha, making jokes, hating each other, and just kept convincing me more and more and more. Yeah. So I was just like, man, man, I hope someone says it. I'm like, nah, you're good.
They're just like, you really think he could withstand being hit with that folding chair that many times? And before you know it, you're like, damn, that shit really is fake.
But you know what was true though? MSC challenges. That
yeah,
was
yeah,
real.
yeah.
So when I heard that was real, I was like, all right, we're good. I didn't care at that point. And Street Legal was good.
So you're
I
talking
like,
like
D1 Street.
you're talking like the events that are like super fast, fucking like D1 shit. Like,
Yeah, like Fuji and all that stuff. Like,
Yeah.
they said early on. I don't know if maybe it got legit somewhere.
Like the one that
Again,
happens in a parking lot. I could see how that one could be staged.
I love that event, man.
I could see
There's just
why.
mad people
I
around.
love that. I love parking lots. What's wrong with me?
Yeah, I don't know. What's
You're a
wrong with you,
takeover
dude.
kid.
I'm a fucking takeover
Yeah,
kid or
Get
something.
a charger.
I don't give a fuck about
could
the
see
track.
that in you, dude.
Yeah, like, it's like, yo, let's go to the track and go
Some
to the
gator
parking
boots.
lot. Oh, stop.
Yeah, I could see with some gator boots. Dude.
Some what?
Some gator boots and like a charger, scat pack adventure, whatever, or
What?
Hellcat.
It's funny because when Frankie was pulling in this Pulsar that they're working on, I was like, he looks so. I tell Malcolm like he looks so weird in there, and then Malcolm says he looks like a European dude, and I was like,
You do.
Yo.
That's how you look when you're in a Pulsar.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, I guess.
Carry on or whatever, dude. Like,
Yeah,
But
GTIRs. are
that
Euro.
just that freaked me out because yeah, a lot of the stuff that I like is because of that series.
yeah, I know. It threw me for a loop. It really did. I hope the internet's gonna be like, nah, Reese, you're good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then I can be like, yo, you guys should go check out this podcast where I found out you guys were lying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they may not because like the homeboy's like he's like really involved in drifting.
You don't
like,
want to
on
out
that
him, do
level.
you?
Nah.
Nah,
he's
don't do
fine
that.
with me.
Don't do
You know
that.
what I
He's
mean?
your friend.
You
Yeah,
gotta
he's
tell
my
me.
boy.
You gotta tell me after this.
Yeah, I'll tell you afterwards. Yeah. But he was dead straight. I don't know if it's an ongoing joke, but man,
Right.
like, for the whole weekend, I was just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, the whole time it's just WWE.
So, all right. Well, I'm gonna bring us back because
Yeah,
I
bring us
want to.
back.
How often are you still drifting and stuff?
A lot.
Okay, that's good. I like hearing
Yeah. I still drive like my school cars. I drive a good bit.
that. You're just like fuck it. I'm bored.
Yeah, I mean that was whole part of the reason of like opening the school is for me being able to get access to these cars to just be able to rip them. You know, Chelsea showed me that. You know what I mean? So like, I started the school in 2018, right? At the same time, I was helping Chelsea open his school, the School of Drift, over at Pat Acres
Okay.
in the Pacific Northwest in Portland.
All right.
He kind of showed me the model. I saw the model already with Naoki and Drift 101 in 2017. And then 2018, he's like, yo, we should just do it up here. And then I just started trying to do both. And when I realized this works and people were listening to what we were doing, obviously I definitely got a lot of credibility because I was doing so many events and so many of these clinics with Chelsea. And being there in those videos, you know how it works.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that definitely helped. And I'm there a good bit, at least the last March, April, and May. I'm sold out.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Damn. So it's going pretty well.
Yeah, it's going for the ones that I have available. You know, I can't really do a lot of weekends because that's when the track is actually racing.
Yeah.
But Tuesday through Friday, I stay pretty busy.
Okay, so you do Tuesday through Friday, and like, do you want to talk prices and stuff on here? Like, what
Yeah,
is it?
yeah. So, you can come for a mini session, so it's 2 hours. That's $575 arrive and drive. So you just show up. You can bring your helmet if you want. You know, ever since COVID, I tell people if you feel more comfortable bringing your own helmet, bring your own helmet. If not, I got helmets for you. You show up and we go through, you jump in the car. There's really no classroom or anything like that. It's just like we learn. It's a very fall and scrape your knee process.
Okay.
Jump in the car and like you're going to come to realize really quick, like, oh, I thought this was just going to be simple. No.
Yeah.
Everyone says it. This is a lot harder than I thought. And I like that.
No, yeah.
I like that some people do go home a little defeated because then they come back because everyone's like a macho man or, you know, macho whatever. They're just like, I want to learn. And
Yeah. They're like, you should have seen me in the
Yeah.
fucking intersection last night. I got this shit.
But for the most part, everybody gets a good idea. Good amount of humbling happens, and then the real learning happens, and then I can say like I have a really, really good success rate.
The
I'd want to say
575
almost 90, 95%, 99%. Yeah.
Does that include the car that's with the car?
Yeah, yeah. And if you
What-
do 4 hours, it's $975. So it's
Okay.
$575 for 2 hours, $975 for 4 hours.
What cars are they? 4 hours of drifting is a fuckload.
Yeah, but you're not. I mean, you're not driving consistently all
The
4
whole
hours.
time, right? You're
You're doing
stopping
30
and like-
minutes of stopping for like 15, 20, another 30 minutes because we got to let the cars chill out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what you would be doing in real life. But to be honest with you, like, it's a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I have people that get tired. Unfortunately, some people do get car sick sometimes. Yeah, I
This,
mean,
I'm sorry if you guys said it already. Does this include tires or like
yeah,
how?
yeah, everything,
Holy shit.
Yeah.
everything.
Remember when I
pretty
wanted
good.
to do this?
Yeah.
We
Oh,
came
yeah.
back. We came back from Apple Valley or from Grange, and
Yeah, Carl, I remember. Yeah, so I'm gonna do this with $100 or whatever it was. Whatever.
I
Because over
told
there,
you,
you can go to, you can do drift
Zone.
zone.
That's what he did.
I
Yeah,
rented
yeah.
the Z there,
Yeah.
and there's not really.
They rent it out for a couple laps. Little instruction on like how to do one or two things. and then
Literally,
they let
he
you
showed
roll
me the
out.
car. I told him I do have a little bit of a background. Honestly, at the end of the trip,
It was, yeah, that was more like a rental.
at the end of the trip,
Yeah.
he was like, "Damn, man. Honestly, the car is usually just for beginner type of rentals. Like
Oh, they were
have-
driving these
There's
cars.
a skid pad. They lent it out to like me, Daryl, our other friend Derek, like the whole group of people who would drift.
Yeah.
So this thing was getting a workout.
Reese, they were like, don't use third gear.
Yeah, yeah.
I was
Yeah,
like, bro.
That's what they told. That's what they told my girlfriend Taylor because I rented. I'm like, how much will I don't know how many $100, and they're like, oh, does she need? I'm like, nah, she's good. Like,
Yeah.
you don't need to show her anything. And they told her the same thing. You can't go into third gear. And she's like,
How
what
am
do
I
you
going
mean?
to enter?
Yeah, yeah. She was.
What I was doing was I was literally waiting until I wanted to accelerate, which is by Frankie. Like I would
I
literally
was
see
standing down
Frankie
there.
and I'm like, and then like the VQ
It was
would-
painful to watch these guys. And then eventually did you shift in the third eventually?
No, Daryl did.
Daryl did, and he fucking killed shit. And I was like, that's how you're supposed to do this.
It
turn.
looked great
Like,
and it sounded great, like because it was like the motions happened and I was like, God damn it, I should have broke the rules too. Like fuck.
didn't someone say like any? They were like, oh yeah, like you said afterwards. They were like,
Afterwards, he was like, "Well, nah, honestly, after seeing you guys do that, you probably were fine." And I was like, "Yeah, probably I wouldn't have to use the clutch as much."
Yeah, I think they're nice they're nice dudes. I mean,
They
yeah,
were
it's
just
nice.
normal
yeah,
guys.
They're just normal. I think they just saw a business opportunity. They're let's just go for it.
they
they-
just gotta
they-
change that third gear.
They
rule.
did
Yeah.
think of a couple things. I could see like tires. They replace them one at a time. They're normal as dudes. I think the one guy is a welder by trade, and then the other guy, I forget. Fuck, damn.
And you can do
Love
it
those
out
guys,
there because
though.
I'm sure like the overhead cost to run it at that Apple Valley probably lends itself to make it affordable for people.
Mm-hmm.
But the cheapest place that I've been able to pull this off has been Evergreen.
Yeah.
Like anywhere else, this shit would cost so much more money. Like we're talking like $2,000 or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Pennsylvania,
Yeah.
love it.
So, and a lot of props to that dude, Jason, the owner of the track, because he just worked out such a good deal with me and he just like believes in it. I think he just kind of looks at it, the more I teach people, the more people will go to that track. And he's not selfish too. He wants people to go here. He understands like that's a technical track.
It
He
is.
understands Englishtown is a little bit more advanced track. So he likes that type of relationship. He's always been that type of race type driver and organizer, where he's like, I want everyone to kind of be doing this, because if you're just one track, then what?
I kind of like
Yeah.
it.
So it's a good mindset that he has. That I
If you
like
really
that.
wanted to, you could do a little tour of like the East Coast.
Yeah, you could, including
Yeah.
Pocono.
Evergreen, Pocono, then to E-Town.
There's a
Then
lot. Thompson.
Thompson is the furthest one out of the two. You
But the
could hit.
cheapest would be Evergreen, Pocono, and Englishtown. I mean,
Yeah.
that's just straight lined.
That's literally that you would go from Evergreen to Pocono, which would probably take you less than an hour. I think it's like
it's 30 minutes.
30 minutes. Okay, 30
Oh,
minutes
wow.
away, and then from there it's like an hour and 10
to Englishtown.
to Englishtown, and then 40 minutes back to my house. That would be beautiful. Let me just get fired right away.
You don't go to work anyway.
I fucking actually do work.
I don't know, man.
It's just that I happen to have
You always send me photos from like your little makeshift paint booth.
just the hut.
The hut. That's what you call it?
Yeah.
The hut.
My neighbor saw it and he was like, I talked to my neighbor.
He's like, what in the fucking?
I always want to make sure wherever I am, okay, I'll talk to a neighbor and be like, if ever anything's a problem,
Let me know.
let me know. I will do absolutely everything in my power for you to not need to take
Call
this
the
to
police.
another level.
Yeah. That.
So I was talking to him, and literally seconds before I'm about to paint and dump a bunch of chemicals into the air,
Allegedly.
allegedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly. And then I was like, yeah, if it's ever getting kind of loud, just let me know. And he's like, yeah, no, I see you guys were burning the midnight oil sometimes. And I'm like, yeah, that was, I can count the amount of times he passed like 10 o'clock. And one of them was with Daryl, and it was till like 2 a.m. And we're hitting the impact gun.
Oh, fuck.
But it doesn't happen often. And I
Right,
said to him straight up, I was like, dude, not dude. Because I was using my grown up voice. I was like, sir, we don't want to be out there that late either. And then he was like, nah, I understand. I had a V6 Camaro. And I was like,
Oh,
oh,
yikes.
You kind of get it, maybe.
this guy.
He kind of gets it.
But he was
maybe.
really nice. He totally gets it. I think he likes it more because now he doesn't have to see all my shit outside.
It's all in the
It's,
hut.
it's in the hut.
Yeah.
But yeah, I work hard and I plan my days so that I can do that.
Okay.
Okay? So because I like it this much. I don't do anything else. Like
Yeah.
it's
Work
nice.
is work. Work for me is drifting all the time. So
That's sick. Yo, okay.
it's a
I
lot.
wanted to talk about this because I saw one time you were posting a lot of stuff about a Toyota commercial or like a documentary or like a driver background thing.
Oh, so
all he likes
Can we
is
talk
Toyotas.
about that?
All right. You can.
No.
yeah, I
he
heard, I saw
literally-
his last podcast.
He
Yeah,
literally did this for Toyota.
yeah.
I do want to hear about this too, though.
See? Fuck you.
So Toyota GR, they were doing like this was I think maybe in November,
Okay.
somewhere in the fall of last year. They needed to do a podcast. It was Univision, so it was like
Oh wow.
the Latino network, channel 65, I think. There's Telemundo's Univision, so this was Univision.
I know what Telemundo is. They get lit on there, dude.
Yeah, yeah, they both do. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
really?
And yo,
Yeah.
they were nuts. They came in, they brought the GR Corolla
Okay.
for me to drive and attempt to drift it. It was really hard.
See?
They didn't want to take off the traction control. Like,
Oh.
fucking pussies.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
Are you getting anything done?
How
I
would they
mean, it
not
was
wanna-
hard. I had to work really hard, but I mean,
Yeah.
we made it happen. There's like, if you know enough drifting, you can watch that video and you can see they made movie magic happen.
Yeah,
there,
yeah.
for sure.
So you can at least press the button, right? And like
Yeah,
turn it
yeah,
off?
and they do the whole like 30-70 split. But I mean, like if
What
they would
hap-
have just like taken everything off and unplugged everything, like we would have been like doing some. We would have been.
Is that a good car? Do you like that car?
I mean,
Was it
yeah.
fast?
Yeah. Oh hell yeah. Yeah.
3-cylinder. That's apparently 300 horsepower.
Yeah.
So
That's crazy.
that's
Anybody-
100 horsepower per
anyone
cylinder.
that has an Evo or a Subaru and you're not like stuck on just having those brands, like you'll probably go over to a Toyota GR.
I love that thing. It has a fat butt.
It was pretty cool. And the way they shut down Philadelphia at 5 o'clock, so like they can do like this whole video shoot that they did at the garage was like gnarly.
Where can I see this?
It's
Toyota.com.
Oh shit.
or
Nah,
Univision. You go to the YouTube of Univision and it's all in Spanish.
Yo, sometimes I see you posting stories and it's all in Spanish,
yeah, yeah.
and I'm
I
like,
know.
God damn it! Why
Reese
don't I
is an
know Spanish?
international
But it's not that.
superstar.
It's not that like
I
I,
just
don't
wish I
do it
knew
as
it.
much. I didn't do it like I don't really do it as much as I think I should.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I really think I should do that more.
How's the
I need to
scene
learn
down there?
Spanish.
Is it
In
it's-
Colombia?
Yeah. Is it just?
It's cool. Like there's obviously like going down there, the prices are different, the economy's different, the taxes when you bring things from out of the country are different. So that all plays a
Tires and
role.
all that shit.
Suspension,
Mm.
you know, all that stuff. So like there's ways around it, but it's like, you know, So it's really just, it comes down to a money thing. So I've been to all the track, to one of the tracks that's like the big one called Tonkancipa. And I've been down there in Bogota, and I stood there for a while to see if we can make it. But their biggest issue is that they're like almost 10,000 feet above sea level.
The
So
cars are going to run kind of weird.
Your tunes are going to be an issue at that point.
Jesus.
So then they have other ones. I started looking up kart drones, which is like the just go-kart tracks. There's tons of those. So there's an avenue of doing it, but like at the end of the day, if I want something to pop off in Colombia, like I'm just gonna have to either find an investor or like I have to go invest my own money to make it happen, which is gonna take time. And
Are there people down
Yeah.
there that like are into drifting?
yeah, there's a lot of people that, I mean, when I say a lot, I say like a good solid 20 people. Like
So not that many, but
not in American standards.
So
no.
you'd really have to like start a movement down there.
Yeah, and it's there. It's just
Quiet.
It's quiet because there's not a place for them to go.
Yes.
A lot of the people that are there, they're not really into drifting. So it's like, drifting in America is like a poor man's sport. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And like down there, like the people that do have access to the
You're
racetracks,
rich.
they're not trying to like do that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if they are, like, I don't know. There's probably a reason why they're not doing it, because they're not making business, which I totally get. Like, that's just the way the economy is down there. Now, go to Brazil, which I just came back from a couple months ago to judge an event down there. Totally different.
Bro, you're an
Yeah.
international fucking
This
superstar.
man's international.
Dead
bro.
ass. You just named 2 different countries that were in America.
Well, yeah, Brazil was great. Saudi Arabia was probably the coolest.
He did that on purpose.
You're wild.
Saudi Arabia was cool, but we went to just instruct. It was me, Chelsea, Vaughn, Travis Reeder. We all went to Saudi Arabia to go instruct there. That was cool for culture. Drifting wise, Brazil was like, it was awesome. It was like, imagine a soccer game, but just, it was all about drifting.
Oh, it was probably
It was
loud
so much
as fuck.
enthusiasm.
Yeah,
it was
cool.
awesome. It was awesome.
So that's so funny how you describe the way that the economy is and stuff. And so in the Philippines, I looked up and I tried to find drifting
Right.
for so long. It's so scarce, but then you find like little hints of it. Like there's a matching team of like yellow taxi cab looking cars.
Right.
It's like an S13 and 8.6 and shit. And I'm like, that's not easily attainable here. So like, where are these guys? Like, what are they doing? And there's no like drift tracks or drift events. It's either a parking lot or it's like this one track that's in Manila somewhere. I forget where it is.
Yeah, drifting is very different. Like, 'cause
Totally different
it's
out the
very
US.
different outside of the United States. I
Yeah.
mean, like you go to Chile. I've never been there, but like I have
Oh
friends
my
down
God,
there.
Jesus Christ.
And
If
Chile
that was
just has
another
a lot
one.
of stuff. Panama has it. Mexico has it now. I went to Puerto Rico for it years and years ago with the JDM Will to go see the scene. Like, it grows everywhere, and then you look across, in the Philippines. Like, it exists. It's crazy how now it's everywhere.
Yeah.
It's literally the adult version of skateboarding. Everyone kind of wants to do it because everyone has to have
That's-
a car.
That's
Yeah.
mad true, actually.
You know what I mean? Like, it's definitely what that is.
And it's just, I feel like it's an escape for a lot So-
100%.
So like, my other roommate is Jamaican. I bring him up on this podcast all the fucking time.
Right.
But he's Jamaican, and we drove down this tangent on YouTube of Jamaican automotive YouTube.
Right.
It's a lot of drag racing, as you would expect. I feel like that's just an island thing. They love drag racing. That's like bred in the culture. But then there's a portion of it where I was like, I want to see what the drifting's like. And it's like literally Gymkhana type of stuff. Like very, very close. Everything is technical.
I mean, isn't Gymkhana like a real sport still?
Yeah.
It's just for some reason in the USA it really didn't.
Well, then we got
Take
Autocross.
off.
The worn
Yeah, we
down.
got
version. I get in
Autocross.
trouble.
Yeah.
Gymkhana is like a real thing,
Yeah.
though.
I just think that drifting fits more of like the American attitude.
Yeah, maybe.
I got in trouble at Autocross for drifting. Literally, I hit the brake, and they yelled at me because my tires were bald, and I feel like they knew. Like I made a turn
They
out
knew
of
you
the.
were there for something else.
I turned out of the tech inspection, and the diff is like, and they're like, we'll keep an eye on you. And then when I went off, like the line, there was this like long straight into a long left sweeper, and I like went like that. Not like I wanted to drift, but when I hit the brake, the rear broke out, and I wasn't gonna like have it snap back. And the instructor was with me, and as soon as we started drifting,
Oh, he was in
that
the car
dude
with
was
you?
loving it.
Oh,
He was
really?
like, oh, woo! And I'm like,
That's usually how it
Okay.
and then
goes.
he's like, "Get the fuck
and-
off the track."
And then he got out of the car and he was like, yeah, you're technically not supposed to do that. So next time, just don't do that. And he got out.
Yeah.
This was in Atlantic City. They let anything fly down there.
Some people just don't like. I met some people that just don't like drifting.
Yeah.
Like old dudes that are just like, they just think we're the scum of the earth.
Yeah.
It's
I know.
hilarious.
Like,
And the
what are
thing
you
is
doing?
like, what are we gonna do to the texture of that old airfield? It's at Baderfield and at
That's gonna get knocked down and turn into something.
and it's
yeah,
gonna
I
be
heard about
supposedly
that.
a Formula One track.
Yeah. There's
would
gonna be
be
a lot.
sick.
I think there's gonna be over the next couple of years. I think people really need to understand that there's a lot of drifters that have grown up, and a lot of people that have gotten into drifting that now have money. And that's gonna change the face.
And they're gonna just
Sure. Yeah, like in Virginia, like there's a group of people who bought a racetrack down there. You know what I mean? And like they're gonna like incorporate all the original drifting that's going on with it, plus more. I think it's like I forget what it's called. It's escaping my mind right now. But it's like South Virginia or something like that, closer to Langley or like west of Langley Motorsports.
Yeah,
like,
I'm not sure.
Interesting.
there's just so much. But if you talk to a lot of those people, and I think Chelsea said in one of his podcasts or something he was doing, that like if you're not allowing drifting to come in, like you're just
that's a channel of revenue.
it's
That's
a channel of revenue, you know.
And
And we
the-
don't want it to take anything away from anyone else. You just let us have our space.
The videos that I like are from like when I first started drifting. We're watching Lime Rock Butterfly track.
Right.
I like that track, and I get to play it on a Seto from time to time. But since I don't know if they have opened it up for drifting. I feel like I see videos of it happening, and I'm like, wait, what the fuck?
I think there's been events there. I think a strong group that's been pushing that is FCP Euro.
They have the
They've been
proving
having,
grounds
like,
there.
They have something that I guess it's that.
It's
And
but
I
it's
think-
like a autocross.
Yeah,
like
an
they have-
autocross. I think there was drifting for something. I think they're slowly going to like wean their way into it. And I understand there's a lot of tracks that don't immediately want to give the space to drifters because one, they don't understand it. They don't understand the rules. They don't know how to set up their layout so it doesn't mess up the track.
Mhm.
There's like a lot of responsibility has to go into like, oh, we're going to have an event here. Let's set it up to A, we don't destroy the track because then they won't invite us back.
Yeah.
2, set it up where it's still challenging and can push the driver's ability. And I think that's really more what I've started to become more about. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
the way that you just kind of described that shows like
yeah.
you kinda
I
work on
want to
it.
push people's, like, I want to push their limits. Like, even when I went to this event that I judged like 3 weeks ago in Atlanta, I judged this cash event. So it's competition drifting. And I was telling Frankie, like, it was over at Lanier. And there's this one inner clip that they have to hit. And I hate the fact that you can see the inner clip. To me, that's easy.
Mhm.
So I made sure I put blocks up to block the inner clip. So unless you committed on throttle on the previous outer zone, you won't see the inner clip and you'll mess up.
Mhm.
So you get rewarded for not being a pussy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what I enjoyed. I enjoyed.
You gotta
those
make it
little things.
interesting
Yeah,
like
you have
that.
to make it interesting.
Daryl said that track had a huge fucking bank. He loved it.
There was it, but we used it for the for this comp. We used it for the initiation. Then everything was on the inside, but it was
So like a Irwindale looking. No,
kind
Irwindale
of.
had more bank.
kind of. But this was definitely momentum and inertia driven toward the end of the layout.
Okay.
So it was a good mix of like what we would consider American and I guess Japanese style. Yeah.
And where is this? Atlanta?
This was in Atlanta. This is right next to Rhoda.
There's so many like competitions popping up, which is good.
You have Riverside that's coming up now in Englishtown and over in Salem, Indiana or something like that. I don't know.
Okay.
So that's like 50K or something like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's a whole other world.
I feel like
you know?
Josh is gonna start getting into a lot of these.
Josh had already said he was like, at least.
He
Oh
should.
yeah,
when I
he went
talked-
to the Gambler.
He
or
should.
whatever.
But then that's where the engine died.
That's where the engine blew.
And
yeah.
again, I think what's going to happen, and this isn't everyone. I'm not saying everyone's going to have the financial
Yeah.
freedom to do this, but I think what's going to start happening is there's people that have different boards for different things.
Mhm.
And in drifting, there's going to be people that have the financial freedom that they're going to have different cars depending on what they're doing. Oh, I'm doing final bout, I'm bringing this S13. Oh, I'm doing this competition, I'm bringing my E36 or E46 with the V8. They're going to cater what they're doing to what they have. Again, I'm not saying everyone has the money to do that.
That
But
sounds
that's
so
what you're going to
nice.
start seeing. And that's the evolution of drifting. You know, it may not be your evolution because we may not have it, but it's someone's. You know what I mean? That's a reality.
Carl, what's
Damn.
gonna be your second car?
Another IS300 with a
Okay.
1J.
Or Chase.
That's
or
for high
before.
power day.
Just put a 1J in yours.
That's just gonna stay G, so I could just get normal driving in. Dude, I honestly think I could do a lot with that puppy. She like
You should try a BMW.
it's just like a
No,
weird.
stop.
My luck with
Try the BMW.
BMWs, dude.
No.
I would die. I would hate myself.
Just for the drifting aspect.
No,
The-
no, no, no.
It's a
The-
different feeling.
No,
One
no,
of
no.
these days when I get an alignment, I want Frankie to do that toe arm thing or toe strap
I
thing.
don't think you have that problem though.
I just want to. I'm curious. Like, how many opportunities am I gonna have to see that? I just want to see what it does under compression, and I'm pretty sure it toes in.
Yeah, but it's a Toyota, so yeah, it probably toes in.
Yeah, because it's better.
Yeah.
The Z does that too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but so does an E36.
The Z's look like a mouse.
Oh yeah, computer mouse.
That's
Yeah.
been brought
Yeah.
up more than once.
Yeah.
I think it looks more like.
All right, I'm gonna bring something up right now that I kind of not been saying on purpose.
What?
What?
I always thought a Z looked like a pickle.
Like a pickle?
Yeah, and that's the reaction I get every time I say it.
What kind of pickles do you eat? Like, what the fuck? I'm trying to
Thick
think.
pickle, bud.
Nah, yeah. Like,
Maybe
what?
like okay, here, cut the pickle down the middle.
Oh,
And then lay it
the
down.
profile.
Maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Right?
thinking of a pickle. Malcolm, cut to me. I'm thinking of a pickle that looks like this, like a gourd.
Like a planter's peanut. Type
Yeah.
of
I don't
thing,
know.
dude.
I just feel.
I think a Z.
I always used to look at the hood and be like, "This shit's a pickle." I don't know why.
I think the Z looks like the little plastic cars that people show you paint colors on.
it's the car that you draw when you're a 2-year-old.
The guy who
Here's
has
your car.
the guy who has the best pickle 350Z is definitely
Pickle Rick.
what's his dude? He's over in Drift Indy. He has
I think I
really
know
good
what-
looking-
Is it green?
I think it's green now, but it was like burgundy
pickle.
before. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What was that? Yo, let's talk about Drift Indy. Have you seen those events that they have? That Street League events that they have over
Now,
there?
is this what braking is doing and stuff? Because I see them drifting.
Yeah,
some
I love their group.
what they're doing is sick.
That's like that
That's
Michigan
another-
area,
No, it's Ohio. Dog.
Ohio.
Yeah,
It's up over there, bro.
it's over.
What do they
Yeah.
call? Is there a name for all those Great Lake states?
I don't know.
Do they have like a tri-state?
All I
type
know
name?
when someone says Drift
should.
Indy to me, I think of
Midwest?
Kilcare, Ohio.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Midwest,
So that's just straight west, Midwest.
A lot of the
Yeah.
friends that I have, or well, not a lot of the friends. I only have a few friends that are from that area, but like they'll drive over there, and I'm like, damn, that looks sick. Like the line, everybody's just like
Yo, their cars look sick.
they're all
Oh.
styled up. It's great.
And
What up,
like,
Nick?
and they do mix engines and stuff like that. Like you would think traditionally it wouldn't go, but like everyone's so chill, it just goes. But I mean,
Yeah.
like, if you look up all their videos and stuff, bro, it's just stylistic or aesthetically, it looks just as good as going to like maybe something that's like a final bout type thing.
That
Yeah.
must be where the braking guys are going.
Yeah,
I think. I don't know.
because
Oh, yeah, no,
their
they're there. I
street
see-
league is dope.
Yeah.
Like they have all these competitions and
Yeah.
stuff like that, and it's like really fun. No one takes it too serious, so you get it. It looks like something you saw way back in the day.
I mean, it's in the Midwest, so they gotta have good looking cars.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
where all the good looking cars were here always. But yeah, I'm looking
Why
at
are
the
they so
Instagram
good at
right
that
now.
over there?
I don't know, dude, but
I should move
it's
there because
crazy.
my ass looks good.
I'll never forget going to Chicago for the first final bout and going to like the car show and just being like, what the fuck is
Yeah.
going on right now? I thought I was in Japan.
Yeah,
I was like, this is so weird. I've never seen so many like
but look at it now,
perfect
dude.
cars.
Look at I think now, like, I always hate when people say like American drifting is like trashy looking and stuff like that, but I'm like,
I mean, not now. That's what Japan looks like.
look at it now. Like now there's people all over Texas, Ohio, all over the country.
Texas
that
is
have
a state I haven't-
good-looking cars.
I
Yeah,
haven't
the
gone
Knuckle
there
Up
yet.
events over down there. They have good looking cars. So American drifting is not. I don't think it's what everyone thought it was. Yeah, we had like the muscle car era and stuff like that, and it was like a haha, but it wasn't gonna last. Like now there's people
Yeah.
that take a lot of pride in their cars and it looks really good.
Yeah, it seems like there's a lot more of those people now than more than ever for sure. Because usually it was the opposite.
Yeah, and we all drive good now. I'm not saying we're on their level,
Yeah,
but we're good. Like we can hang.
yeah.
I feel like I feel like everybody. This might be weird. I don't know if you agree with this, but everybody that I was that is currently still in the drifting thing, is like, if you're not fully into it, at least there is a bar minimum. Like me and Chris, we don't really. This isn't like our first thing, and Daryl, this isn't like our first thing. But that group of three, those are the ones that I really drift and want to drive with. Even growing up, we're gonna be drifting.
Right.
You know, door to door. That's Daryl. And then Chris, yeah, that sounds pretty good. And then I'm like, yeah, that sounds fire. Like, yeah. And then, like, you know, jobs happen and shit, and we
Life.
realize money's a fucking thing, and then we're like, fuck.
Oh,
But let's still do this. And so that's why we're where we are now, where we're not like fucking. Some of the, I don't know, just the level of progression sometimes when you
it
see
has a lot to do
somebody.
with your priorities too.
Yeah. I wanted to live a very different life, and that's exactly what I got.
Yeah,
you did.
Yeah.
like some people will prioritize other things, like going out, drinking, this and that.
Well, you
Like,
also
if you're
don't
gonna
want
do that stuff, then you're not gonna get to where your
You
friends
also
are
don't
getting.
want to like cut yourself short. I would never trade some of the experiences and some of the people that I met in college ever again. And that was when I had an S13. I was literally just at college, hanging out, partying, doing whatever, and the S13's in the garage.
So you were doing that for a bit.
Yeah.
I would have to say drifting probably kept me out of a lot of trouble. I don't want to say as far as saving my life because I never had, but I mean, it could have. I mean, like the friends that I had and the things that I was involved with.
Yeah. See,
but drifting keeps you so focused on like, I got to save up.
it gives you something to like,
you know what I mean? Like
try to reach for.
So you didn't have time to really think about anything else. And honestly, like all of my friends in high school, the majority of them all have kids and stuff like that. And I realized really quick, like it's possible to have kids and still do this if you're financially set for that.
Yeah.
That's a reality.
Yeah.
I was not. So
You have
if I
kids?
wanted to no.
Okay.
So if I wanted to do that, I couldn't do that.
Yeah, like going to Saudi Arabia and shit.
Yeah, I mean that big ups to Chelsea and Vaughn and everybody
That's
for letting me
sick.
to do that. You know what I mean? But it's like, I would have to say like, yeah, you have to pick and choose how you do things. You know, because for a while there, like I would just get up and go wherever work would take you, and that's what it requires when you're driving. Not when you're driving, when you're working on your own and you're trying to start a business and this type of social media world that we're dealing with now.
Now you bring that up, not many people have kids.
No.
It's kind of weird, man.
What?
I never thought about that, but
What,
in this community, there's like a handful
Jeff
of
just
people.
had a second one. Congratulations, Jeff. I hope one day we get to meet each other.
And I'm happy. Yeah, but Jeff is one of those people that I'm really happy for the guy. But he's one of those people who's I feel like he's in a position where he can do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But like, okay, there's one. Name a couple more.
Yeah.
Frankie Bovino.
No kid yet.
No. But it's a thing.
It's kind of
Yeah.
weird, right?
You know.
Are we all just kids that don't grow up?
I think that's what it
Is
is.
this never?
I had a deep thought about that the other day because everyone fucking road trip etiquette people. Don't just pass out on me right away. Give me something to think about for the rest of the trip.
Dude,
Fuck.
that shit's annoying, bro.
But Alan woke up. What's up, Alan? We brought Alan along.
Dude,
There was this closet at the Airbnb that was literally massive. I would say it was
Is
literally
that
half
where he
this.
stayed? Is he
Yeah,
slept in there?
I stayed at an Airbnb
Nice.
and there was a closet to the right of my bed. Like if I open my eyes and I'm on my side, I'm looking right into this closet and there's mirror doors. And I woke up one morning and Alan like slides them open and I forgot he was in there and I was like, dude, what the fuck?
he slept in the closet.
They went to sleep and I thought about this because I was like, when am I going to hit that age? Because I in the line of work that I do, I work in an office.
Just don't think about it.
Yeah. Like, am I ever going
Who
to
says
hit that
who
point?
says we have to?
I don't want to have to.
Wait,
and
what,
I don't
what
see
age are we
why.
talking? What are you talking about right now?
The age of where this will get old to me, and I'm gonna be like, what am I gonna do now?
As long as you're still having
I'm
fun.
there right now.
Yeah.
I think like
I mean, I'm 38.
the cars that I look at my dad too. My dad had a 911. That was the car that he oohed and ahed
Right.
when he was a kid, right? So what I ooh and ahhed is like that shit, like S13s and the cars that I liked watching.
Right.
And I feel like, yeah, you'll see like a new Porsche or a new BMW drive, and you're like, yeah, that's sick.
All right, but here's
this
the
is
thing.
what I like.
Here's the thing with you, Carl.
What?
You used to be that person that just wanted, you want a new car all the time.
I just wanted to
But
experience it
now,
all.
He's more of like the working on his driving.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think you're really gonna.
Well, I'm kitted up. That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted, dude.
I'm kidding up.
I just wanted to be kitted up. I missed. Okay,
You missed the body.
this is a big deal for me. Okay, I put a body kit on my IS 300. It's outside.
Congrats.
And it's been my daily driver for so long, and like I stopped daily driving it, and I just wanted it to
Lame.
look like a drift car, like
Right.
like my older cars and stuff. And I feel like that's why I wasn't liking it. Like
yeah,
I
but you
wasn't.
kept it.
Yeah, man.
He has
you
a
know how
history
many-
of like selling cars. Like,
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna do this and that, and then he
You're
sells
one of
it.
those guys.
Yes.
Yeah, I was, dude. Literally,
I think he broke it though. Like,
no. Well, the
it's
problem
done.
is
It's done now.
no. It's the problem is that those cars sometimes you build them so fast, and like you put so much time into them in such a rapid rate that you just don't like looking at it anymore. You're like, all right, well, I did all of that work. Now I'm kind of done. Now I work on this shit for so long. Everything you guys see on the car, if you follow me on Instagram or whatever, everything you see that changes on it, engine, bodywork, whatever, I do it.
Right.
So now, even if I think about selling the car and I look at something like an ad for a 240 or like a R32 Skyline sedan or whatever, and I look at it and I'm like,
Sedan.
I would have to do all of that stuff again.
I mean, that's
And-
part
Yeah.
of it, though, man.
It is, but I'm not
But
done
that's also-
like with this one.
I'm the same way. That shit's crazy to me. Like, I would never want to do that again.
Well, who are we talking to with this? I think it was Brian Hobb.
That's all preference.
With
you know?
with Frankie, I think Brian was like, I think you're just burnt because you've been working on this same exact car
oh no, that's not it.
for 10 years.
That's
And I
definitely
was
not
like,
it.
that's interesting.
Because I don't. The thought of changing the car, like let's make an RX-7 FC. Fuck that. I'll never drift again. If you told me like we're gonna part this out so you can get a different car, I'll never drift again. I'm not doing that shit again.
But would you get another car and still keep that car?
I'm saying
has
like
a
we already
few.
put all the work into it. You know what I
Right,
mean? Like
right.
I know how an
I wouldn't want to
S-chassis
get rid of it at
works.
that point.
You know,
Yeah.
like I'm not restarting this shit. and
Maybe
learning
like
all of
shelf
that.
it and just drive it around looking like that all the time.
If I like had a private garage where I could work on my car, like let's say I had a house and I had my own garage, I might get a project or something. You know what I mean? To
I mean,
mess
you
with.
have you have a couple. You're not. Don't act like you don't have more cars.
What? I have another S chassis,
And
Yeah,
that one,
sorry.
but I can't work on it. So the
Right.
point proven.
and then that one.
Would you
Which
ever
one?
want to venture into a different chassis just to see what it feels like?
That's
No.
14.
No, because that's not your twist, right? You're just like
I
"Nah,
don't
just-
care. Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, also, I only like S chassis. Really. Well, that's a lie. I'm starting to like Toyotas a little bit, like JZX. Like it's because of the Cressida.
Yeah, I
driving
knew it. I knew it.
I'm not a fan of Cressidas, but
Neither am I.
I'm a fan of like the JZX. I can't even say that, but they're cool though. Like, I don't think I'd ever own one, but they're cool.
You know what I really like right now is like the sedan G37s. S.
Yeah, my friend has one of those.
I like that. Like I drift that.
That was
I'd definitely
a
drift that.
high ranking, like whatever the fuck, when the M3 came out. That was like a really good competitor to that car.
Stop.
Nah, dead ass. Look at market statistics, like money wise, and how it sold, and like the ratings that Motor Trend gave it.
They
like
look better
back
than a coupe
in
but
2010. Yeah, much better.
The 37s look way better than
I'm talking about the 37,
Yeah,
not like
37s
not a
look way better.
35, not that.
The third and the G's the 370s are nice. I like the set way more.
I
than the
only
50s.
Fast as fuck.
I only
sometimes
like
when I see 'em.
350Zs out of all those cars.
Really?
That's the only one I like, and I barely like it because I'm just like, it's a pickle. No, I just said that for fun.
I feel like
but,
you just wanted to say it.
I did.
Mike, Dave's brother.
That's the
is
face
gonna
I
be
had
like,
when they
"What the
told me it
fuck?"
was fake. I was like, really?
No, I actually do like 350Z.
You
it's probably
drove
because
one.
of fucking what is it, Tokyo Drift? That's probably why.
And you drove Mike's that day.
And they're super easy.
Oh
to
yeah,
drive.
they're great to drive.
They float a bit much.
Yeah,
You know,
I
What do you
don't
mean
like
by
the
that? Like,
engine, but
they just all right. So like for me, like if I'm going to party in a car, I'm getting a 350Z or an S chassis because those things float.
What do
They
you mean
just-
by it floating though?
Like when I come into a corner, like the side bite's very stable and just kind of glides.
oh,
out
it
a
doesn't
little
feel like
bit.
it's yeah.
Yeah.
I
Well, I
feel that.
mean, but so when you roll in on throttle when you're going through a turn, like it increases, it goes deeper.
yeah.
But like when I jump into a BMW and I do that, like it's on attack mode. Like if I want to like get into that pocket and get real close, I just have to give it throttle and it comes right up in there.
that's the ultimate
You
driving
know what I
machine.
mean? So I mean, I hate the way they look.
I
You know what
don't
I
like-
love the way they drive.
I kind of like the way BMWs
Yeah.
look, but not for drifting.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, I have to compare everything to drifting because I didn't like cars at all. So
Yeah.
unless it looks
That's
like a
crazy.
drift car, I'm just like, yeah, I didn't. And the only reason I started learning how to work on drift cars is because I'm like, well, I can't pay for this shit, so I guess I have to learn how to figure this out.
That's
how
exact-
most
Yeah,
people
yeah.
are in this
And
community.
that's how I
yeah.
ended
That's
up
me.
getting into it. Other than that, I wasn't into any of that, or I got Hondas specifically just to flip them so I could get 240s because I knew that's what was hitting in Philly at the time. Was all the Hondas, and all my Spanish friends were buying Hondas like idiots. I was doing 240s, and at the time they were $600, $700, $800. They're cheap.
Yeah.
You know, SRs were like $1,500. You know what I mean? Like, but we didn't know what the hell we were doing back then. Everybody talks about those. Go, oh, yeah, but no, everyone sucked. Everyone sucked back then.
Yeah.
Like everybody talks about the good times. I'm like, yeah, I remember. We all looked good for like 3 seconds until we would go out there and look like complete assholes. Didn't know what we were doing, destroying these kits. Think we didn't know anything.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that. the golden era is that we just got to look like that for a little bit. But
Yo, what was that Arrow brand back there? Was it Chaser Arrow? Does that ring a bell?
Oh my god,
Yes.
Chaser Arrow.
Yeah, dude, that was the name, right?
The
I
fuck
thought
is that?
we brought this up the other day on a
in Maryland
podcast
or something.
I think they're maybe, but I couldn't remember the name. But then
Is
I
this a
thought
rep
of it.
company?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they
But that was our
replicated-
go-to.
Yeah, that was like the go-to body kit.
And
brand.
JGW, remember JGW in Virginia, 240SX motoring.
Yeah, they're still around.
They're still around.
Yeah.
JGW was a thing. There
Chaser
was,
Arrow kind of just like stopped answering the phone one day, and then that was it.
I think, yeah.
The website stayed up. It might be up right now.
For IS300, everybody had a fine line tuning BN kit. That was the one.
Right.
That was that one. And
It was
then
BN knockoffs were like the thing in my era.
yeah,
Like,
I
if
didn't.
you didn't have BN kit
Yeah,
replica,
that was
like,
the thing,
you just
yeah.
weren't doing your thing.
I didn't like. I liked the Type X look. I liked the Vertex look on the S13. But then I met Frankie, and he's the only one that I knew that had a BN kit that looked on the ground, and like the wheels were really big.
Right.
And like I always just did 17 squared because I just liked the little. Like I drove it around
Right.
a lot. And like when I saw that, I was like, oh, I guess that's what BN is supposed to
Right.
be.
I had 17s for a while.
I couldn't
though.
even imagine you driving around with
I was
17s.
I was very lucky, and I had
It was lower than that.
I had
Christ.
2 D-Max kits because I got
Oh, okay.
I had 2 D-Max kits early on, but
That's
I didn't
cool.
have like the cool wheels to go with it. So I feel like I just faked the funk. I didn't even realize.
D-Max is hard to get right now. So.
Yeah, I didn't realize how awesome I had it when they sent me these 2 kits.
What was that like back then? Like when you were, 'cause
Bro,
you were
like I first of all, like, so there was this team that I was a part of, that Chelsea was a part of, called Drift Brigade.
Oh, I think I've
Yeah,
di-
a long
yeah, that,
time ago, dude. A long time. So they brought me in, and they were sponsored by Dunlop tires. So I early on got put on. Like, I've been on BC Racing Coilover since 2007. Like,
Damn.
that's how long I haven't, like, that's how much time I put in with that company.
Mhm.
And then Dunlop tires, DZ101s, like, we used to get those by the truck full.
That was the first tire I ever had. DZ101s
DZ1s.
on my Integra. It was like, it's not a super summer tire.
No, I didn't know anything about those tires. Back
Yeah,
then. They were
it
just
was
like
just-
tires. I
It
was
was
like,
an
all right,
ultra
cool.
high performance.
Yeah,
Also.
but they were great.
Yep.
It was we did a whole bunch of like they still do those Rick's magazine demos now. We did so many like HINs. We did all that stuff. And then I was gonna go into doing Nopi, because that was like the professional series back then was Nopi Drift,
Mhm.
and there was Formula Drift. But at the time, you're like, well, what am I gonna go with, Nopi or Formula Drift? Well, Nopi had the bigger name at the time, so a lot of people were jumping on Nopi.
It's Nopi. How do you spell that?
Nopi. They used to do drag racing. They used
Huh.
to be a huge like.
And then it just
racing series.
moved into the drift.
Yeah, then they went bankrupt and stuff like that. And
They
everybody
were
lost
like
their
the
minds.
legit.
Yeah, they were like the legit one.
spot. Yeah.
Huh.
So that's what I was gonna do, is that, and then that never ended up developing because they ended up going bankrupt. And then with them, I got to go to Bermuda with those guys, to go over there to do a drift demo over there, like in like 2008 or something
Sick
like
as
that. Yeah.
fuck. What the hell?
Yo, there's so many people that are my age that have done just as much cool shit that you just don't know about.
Yeah. Well, we
Like-
got to get him on here.
You know what I mean? Like, like someone like, all right, so like I grew up watching, like, American drifting for me was Drift Alliance.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like Turk and
Well, no.
No, not yet.
No, because it was Hampshire didn't come in yet. Well, that's
Yeah.
what they called him, was Hampshire, because he was from New Hampshire. So Hampshire wasn't around yet. There was Ryan Hayes, I don't know, some other dude who was like a stunt driver or something like that from the original Bad as Hell or something like that. Not Stay Hungry, which is the second video.
Uh-huh.
So that's the one I used to religiously watch. But you would watch like all of these dudes. It was like a skateboard video. And
Yeah.
that's what it was for us. And then you have people like Carlucci, who, like, I don't know if many people know who Carlucci is, but like if you go watch Tony Angelo, he's his buddy there. Carlucci has gone to like Central America and drifted at tracks down there, and shit, like, nobody even knows. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many dudes that have done so much cool shit in traveling and drifting that just either they're too old and you don't know about, but like, yeah, now people see it, but like because of YouTube and all that. But this shit's been going on for like,
I feel like it's only YouTube
long
guys
time.
doing that shit now.
yeah, when before it wasn't. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it
Like, my
wasn't.
favorite like Japan video was the knockaround, no, running hit and run when they
Yeah.
did Japan 2.
Yeah.
That video was sick. You know what I mean? It was like, I love skater videos. I really don't like the
hit and
reels
run
and stuff like
videos
that.
were the
Hit and run
best
was the best,
videos
dude.
ever.
Yeah, big shout out to Scott Mitchell's. Like, that dude edits like a
And that
beast.
wasn't even that long ago,
No.
right?
It was like maybe a decade ago or something like
or
that.
you were less. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
But
remember watching those videos, dude. Oh my.
But it was the vibe. It
That
wasn't
makes you
even,
wanna
yeah,
drift.
It makes you want to drift. It makes you want to go with your friends and do all that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's what was cool. The vlogs are like cool, and I know that's what's hitting now. But like, I think because the nostalgia for me was watching those videos, that's what I like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I feel like there's always multiple paths, but I feel like the most common one, if you're making money, is that your business is intertwined with automotive and it's making a fuckload of money. Like I watched this Haggerty video, and the only reason why I know who Tony Angelo is, I didn't grow up in that scene where I saw him drifting or went to Club Loose or whatever and met him, but I saw they went to Club Loose in this one Haggerty video where they revived like a old big body American car in Queens.
Yeah.
They took it to Englishtown, and then I asked somebody, it might have been you, it might have been Chris, but he was like, yeah, that Tony Angelo guy, he drifts. He's like a Club Loose guy.
Yeah, he was a judge for Formula Drift.
Yeah, and I was like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? That's sick. So
Yeah, he
and
was
then
one of the first ones to start it.
in that video, there's another. They go to like different, I don't know, shops, different machine shops, and that's always it. They have like a engine building business or some shit, and they're making mad money or something
Or
like
you
that.
think they are, at
or at least it looks like it. But I mean, dude,
Yeah, my buddy Russo, he's the one who films that. So like,
that's awesome.
We got to get him on here
so
too.
Russo
That
will
shit
tell you
would
some really cool stories.
Yeah.
Like me and Russo were doing the Ride the Wave stuff back then.
Yeah.
And then Russo was like, yo, I'm going to Cali. So while he was in Cali, that's when I decided to do my stint in California. But Russo is like, you know, Russo he invites me over. I remember it was Thanksgiving. And he invites me over. He's like, yo, come to Austin's house. And I'm like, all right, so I don't even know who the hell this dude is. So I'm traveling. I got to this dude Austin's house. And it's Post Malone.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
dude, this guy's always with crazy people.
Yo,
like I'm just like, what the fuck?
Russo's just in the background just to see my expression. I was kind of caught off guard, but dude was mad chill.
Wait, wait.
He seems pretty cool.
Time.
He's so chill.
Yeah.
But
Wait.
I befriended his brother Jordan. So I met this dude not knowing this was Post Malone's brother.
What
and
the
I'm kicking
fuck
it with
is
him.
happening?
Yeah, I'm kicking him with him, we're medicating. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? We're doing the California thing and we're kicking it, hanging it cool. And he's like, yeah. And then they're like, yeah, and I guess they invited me over for Thanksgiving. I was staying with Russo. And he's like, yeah, he's the drift instructor. He's doing a stint out here, blah, blah, invites me over. I open up, and then Post is like, yo, what's up, dude? Happy Thanksgiving, or whatever he says. And I'm like, yo, what's up, dude? And I was like, yeah, and that was Thanksgiving that year. Yeah.
That is fucking
Yeah,
wild.
you have no kids.
Yeah, no.
What
Yeah.
the fuck was that?
Yeah, Russo is definitely looked at. He's like when it comes to individuals, definitely in drifting, Russo's helped me out tremendously from a media aspect. Also Rob Goodwin too. Big shout out to Rob Goodwin. You know, he went through a little medical.
He did,
thing.
right?
Yeah. So big shout out to Rob. I hope he gets better. Make sure you hit that GoFundMe because
Yes.
Rob really used that support. Russo's definitely helped me out with that. Chelsea's definitely helped me out with the driving aspect. And Club Loose has helped me out in many, many ways. It's opened up so many doors over the years. Probably more doors than anything early on was because of Club Loose.
Yeah.
But being out in California with Russo, it opened up a whole new connection of people and having that
crazy.
over there. So
That's
big ups to
kind of
Russo.
fucking wild,
Yeah.
dude. That's not what I expected
Yeah.
to happen. And I was like, oh, he went to Austin's and he fucking was not even there or something. I do that to my friends all the time. Yo, I'll meet you at my house. Yo, where are you? Yo, I'm like 15 out.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, all of like his awards was just like on the ground chilling. Like he wasn't like he was like.
He's a cool guy? I
so,
love Post Malone.
so chill, man. He was
I
playing
fuck with
Call of
Post.
Duty when I walked
That's
in.
fire.
Dude, let's get him drifting. What the fuck is
Yeah,
this?
I mean, let's just be very clear. Like I went there and everything. It's not like I'm buddy
Yeah,
with the guy.
yeah.
You know what I mean? But
Don't worry, I'll
um,
talk to Russo. We gotta
Yeah,
get Post Malone
he'll
drifting.
tell you some really cool stories. I just got him drifting a little bit ago. He's already known a little bit, but he has a BMW and we got him up and going, and he's doing a little bit of drifting now too. So it's kind of cool to see him do it. Cody from BC Racing, he was always a media guy, and I went down to Florida a couple of months ago to teach him, and now he knows how to drift. So he did all the drift week. So he's like killing it. So
Yeah.
it's I mean, I don't know. I think it's like the greatest gift you can do is just
That bridge right there from like media guy or media guy or girl to driver is such a close bridge.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Jake on our last pod was a media guy. and I think I've talked to a couple other people who were
yeah,
media
but he
people.
became a media guy so he could snake his way in the club loose.
But it gave him a reason to be there. That's
Yeah,
what I meant.
yeah.
This past weekend, I got that feeling again where I was like, I'm just here to be here.
Yeah.
Like I don't have no obligation to be here because we didn't do what we wanted to do, Frankie. Sorry.
I wanted a podcast, but Carl wanted to,
I wanted
down
to
there
hang
strip.
out.
he wanted to party a little bit.
I wanted.
mean,
we
you
didn't
know.
even really party. We really just
Don't tell me that.
we just hung out, and I was able to just
Tell me you
fucking
partied.
relaxed. I drank maybe
What, at Club
8
Lou's?
twisted teas. No, at Special Stage.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't at Special Stage.
Well,
dude.
you
I
were
had a
you
good
were
time.
enjoying the moment. Dude.
I was having
Yeah.
a blast,
and that
dude.
happens like
we basically had a conversation the night before, like, do you want to do a podcast Saturday night when you're at the Airbnb with
Absolutely
everyone,
not.
or do you want to
No.
not do that?
Not-
and he was
not at
like,
all.
no. I'm like, okay. So then-
I just wanted a good time, and that's what I got. And the fact that I'm telling you, man, that might have not have been Post Malone, but going to Summit and having people like acknowledge the fact that they love our podcast like makes me feel so fucking good. And like if I fucking talked to you this past weekend and I was not all there, I am so sorry.
They get it, dude.
I was.
I get it all the time where they're just like talking to me. I'm like, I probably just came off like a dick.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. Like
But
I
they
was,
get it. They're
I was
like,
also
"Oh,
just
yeah."
hammed, and like,
Yeah.
and like, I was just having a good time with,
everyone
my
else.
buds.
Was there
like-
any girl teams at that?
No, I'm waiting for like. Is that going to be a thing?
Dude.
Like-
Yo, there should.
Girl
Be. Let me
team
tell
would
you
be
something,
cool.
dude. Girl. All right. So, for me, kids are the best drivers in my eyes, right?
because they absorb.
They absorb
Yeah.
student wise.
Yeah.
Then females. Females have this way of learning how to drift, and they become very fluid with it. Like they have more of a finesse with it,
They're thinking.
and
They-
they're I don't know what it is.
They're
you know,
smarter.
and I'm not going to try
They
to
are
pretend like I
smarter.
do. But yeah, they're more patient, I think. And I think I don't know, whatever it is, their lines look good. Once they get it, it blows my mind. Like if it's one thing that I will say, when I would travel with the Drift Kitchen girls, and I would see all of the girls that would show up, it just blew my mind how fast these girls have been picking up this skill set. Like there's girls everywhere that drift.
Well, there was an option section or hot version
yeah.
sections.
Yeah,
where they
but
would
it's
have-
not like it is now.
Yeah.
Like the girls now are like ripping.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I
Like,
think that's awesome.
Yeah, I think what Drift Kitchen did was like, it really pushed a lot of the girls. It gave them like a safe space
Yeah.
to just come and just learn how to shred.
It wasn't
It was-
just an area surrounded by just dudes.
yeah, a bunch of like Sasha's dudes like, let me show you how to drive. You know what I mean? When in
I-
reality, they're just trying to talk.
I feel like now.
You know.
I feel like now, if you
I can't really say that because I ended up going out with one of the girls. You know what I mean?
if you think about it, I feel like nowadays, if a girl just showed up to a drift event and was driving, yeah, I feel like there'd be some oohs and ahs, but I feel like it's not as like weird.
No, I don't think it's as
No.
weird. It depends what part of the country you go to. I definitely believe so.
Yeah,
but I think
definitely.
it's way more accepted now, and I think people, what my girlfriend has done, Taylor, and Alexis has done from Drift Kitchen has definitely like really helped them with that. Because everywhere I go, the girls are like, "Do you know Drift Kitchen?" And I'm like, "It's crazy, because it's the one thing that like brings all of them together."
I think
You know
that's
what I mean?
awesome.
And
It's pretty
they're
cool.
just really, really good. There's some really good drifters out there, that are girls that could probably.
Hey, man, I
not
haven't-
probably for sure can probably outdrift some of you dudes.
Yeah, dude. I haven't drifted in 3 years, so like they got a good shot on me.
And it's cool. It's just cool to see that. You know what I mean? Like I'm pretty sure in the future there has to be a female group, and like they're gonna just slaughter.
That'd be sick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're just out, and then there's probably gonna be a Pee Wee league or something. Like I don't know, dude. Like it's like I'm telling you, man. Like these, if you thought we were good, if we think Front Street right now is killing it, all those dudes right now currently how they're driving are killing it. But I'm telling you, like in 5-10 years, we're gonna be like, wow, we've come this far.
I'm just waiting for the girl drift team names because those names are gonna be fire.
Yo,
Drift boob.
no,
It's not really what I was going with, but like I just I feel like the names are just gonna be like all girl bands names are so good.
Like the videos, like there's a lot of room for that there, man.
Yeah.
there's a lot. Of
It's
room
gonna
for
get
that.
sick.
And their
Yeah.
videos are going to be sick. That's
Yeah.
the problem.
Yeah.
Not a problem, but like that adds to the fire, which is sick.
Yeah, and I definitely think there should be girl leagues and stuff like that. I mean, whatever, they can drift with us too, but just
I think that they should just drift with everybody.
Yeah, I agree.
I think they should, but I think there should also still be the option where they can just kind of do their thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where just because
Dude, I don't know. I think drifting might be one of those sports where you could be anything you want. You could be a they, you could be a her, you could be a he.
I
you
mean,
could be a-
we've seen plenty of people that are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That I
And
should,
you can like because it's not
And
like
they
you
rip.
know, it's not like basketball. you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
It's like you're getting in a machine.
Yeah.
You know.
So it's nice to I think it's nice that they definitely mix it up because we see girls show up everywhere now, and then there's like a nice place where I don't know if I'm really into drifting yet, and then they go and they see all the girls, and then they kind of get used to it, and they're like, all right, let's go anywhere now.
Yeah.
So I
It'd be
think that's a really good bridge for them.
It must,
It's like girls getting into skateboarding.
it must be
Yeah.
sick though.
Yeah.
Imagine if you're a girl and you fucking somebody asks you if you're a spectator or somebody and you're just like, nah, I'm driving.
whose girlfriend are you? It's
Oh, it
like,
happens
no,
to my girlfriend
no.
all the time. Yo, is that your car? And
Yeah.
She's like, yeah. And I'm just looking there like I'm the bitch. Because I'm driving.
like,
I'm just like, because I'm not driving. I'm in the passenger seat. Like,
Yeah.
just like,
You're like,
pumping her gas. I'm
yeah.
like, wow, dude. Like, I'm that dude right now.
that's just sick.
You're like, I'm the tire changer.
trophy wife.
I am. I am.
So we talked a lot about past stuff, but what do you think? Because I'm going to coast after future. We're going to go to questions.
Yeah, we probably don't have many because we posted that shit way late. But
God
yeah.
damn it, that's weird. But what do you, dude? Like what's next? What do you want to do next?
Dude, I don't
Fly a spaceship.
Honestly, Aaron Lucy asked me that too.
To fly
I
a
would, no.
Okay.
What would I do next? I really and this isn't even on. I know a couple of years ago, maybe 2 years ago, my name did come up on the table to be a Formula Drift judge.
That would be sick. I'd start watching Formula Drift.
Yeah, for real. I know that guy.
And I thought about it. I probably would do it. It would greatly depend on who am I doing it with. I strongly I don't really know Chris, the new judge or the newest judge from Formula Drift. But I do know Brian Egger.
Yeah.
And Ryan Lontaine. I spent a lot of time with them. Talked a lot of drifting with them, and I really respect their point of view in drifting. And anytime I've ever had a question about any battle that I've seen in Formula Drift that I may have had questions about, they always break it down in a way where I'm like, man, you're right. It's just that on the live stream, you don't have that much time to do that.
You don't see
I
that.
feel like it's hard to and you say the wrong thing, like you said it already.
Yeah, and then it's you're screwed, and you have to do so much in that time. You got Ryan that's talking and to Jared and stuff. So there's a lot going on. So I would that would be something I'd entertain. I don't know how that would go about, or if that could even.
And you
even
could still
happen.
do that while working the school and everything.
Yeah, I think it would help. Obviously, cross promotes for the school and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I've thought about going back and spotting again, but after I got I feel like after I got the Spotter of the Year award, I'm like, all right, well, now what?
That's like an award done by Formula Drift.
Yeah, they were doing that. I was
pretty
honored.
cool.
I was like, you know,
Yeah.
That's
thank
awesome.
you so much. You know,
How
what I
did
mean,
they
for
even
that.
pick that?
They asked the teams.
Oh.
They asked the Formula Drift teams, and I'm assuming I just contributed to a lot of drivers. A lot of those dudes are my homies too, so I'm like, yo, just take some footage. We'll sit down. We'll see like what my opinion is on, because I'm a nerd. I look at lines. I look at little things that people don't look at, and I'm like, they're gonna ding you for this, and this.
Yeah.
Because like I talked to Ryan Lontaine and Brian Egger about many other places that we go judge, so it's the same parameters. You know what I mean?
This shit's reminding me of when I fucking. You remember when Justin was doing U.S. Drift?
Yeah,
He probably
yeah.
asked you to be a spotter.
Yeah,
Yeah, you couldn't do it. So I was the backup. Boy, oh boy.
I was a judge for that event.
Well, it'd be
I was
kind of
like-
cool if you can.
He's like, yo, how was that? I was like, it looked pretty cool. like I really didn't. I was like, yo, just go faster here, and yeah, you're good. Like I had no fucking idea. What I was doing.
there's a whole thing to like how you have to like take.
It's like a whole
notes and
art.
stuff like. I don't want to say it. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, you got to know a lot of shit, dude.
yeah,
You do.
You have to know how to convey your information. You just have to know how to talk to your driver. Everyone's a little bit different.
And every car's different.
Every car is different, and you have to like take really good educational guests. Like the best one that I was really proud of, and I've told so many people this is I was spotting for Matt Kaufman one year, and he had to go against James Dean, and I saw James Dean do 2 initiation styles. One that was really fast that had no manji, and there was that had like a little, not like a manji, but had like a little like flick, which takes up speed. So
Yeah.
he was entering a lot slower because he was using energy up, using that little weight transfer. But then he would do the beeline one, which there was no scrub, and it was just beelining through, which was his fast initiation.
So you really didn't know what he was gonna do.
So I knew. So the first time we went, and he went one more time, if I was like, well, if I'm Dean, I'm probably like, yo, this kid's way faster than I thought he
so
was.
I gotta get the
So
fuck
I
out of here.
told Kaufman, yo, the next one he's not doing that little switchback, and sure enough, he didn't.
I think I remember this.
And he kept up with him, and then he messed up later on. But those are the little things that help. Like to take that educated guess and have that confidence to be like, yo, he ain't gonna go for it this time, dude. I'm positive.
Yeah.
He maybe he would have, and I would have
Yeah,
been
and
wrong.
then you would have been like, oh,
But
shit.
I was betting against the house that time that I'm like, nah, he ain't gonna do it. So
And you
those are
just-
the little things you have
Dude,
to do.
I don't know, man. Like if you sat next to him while he was spotting a Formula Drift, dude, it would just be some crazy. Like you see shit that none of us are gonna notice.
Yeah.
Like even like
You look at wheels, you look at how the momentum stops, how they build it up, how they go into the pocket, how they're exiting the pocket,
yeah,
their body language, how the suspension unloads into certain corners, and you're just trying to play chess to see where you can get an advantage.
and you got to remember like, oh, this car does this.
Yeah.
Like you're like watching everyone else.
Yeah,
There's
everything.
a lot, man.
Is somebody braking or is somebody having a rough day? Maybe if someone's having a rough day mechanically and your driver has to chase him, so necessarily that dude's not going to drive to mess you up on purpose, but he may have a mechanical problem mid drift and now you have to adapt to that. So I would tell the driver, yo, he's pretty committed, but he has been having mechanical problems. So be on your toes just in case you're committed and he does
Yeah.
do something, you're ready. Because in Formula Drift, like fractions of a second mean everything. There's a lot that goes into it there. Like what those dudes do ain't easy. Like that,
No,
that
yeah.
what they do is fucking hard. You know what I mean? It ain't no. A lot of people are like, oh, I could do it. Like, no, you can't.
And those cars do not drive like your
Nah.
fucking S13 that you just brought to the club.
No,
booths. Like,
absolutely not.
It's not like
Like-
that.
You'll go there and you'll get your shit pushed in real quick, dude. Like that's the big boy stuff right there. You know.
Yeah.
And if you mess up, like that's a lot of money you're blowing.
Someone
You know what
asked
I
me once,
mean?
they're like, would you like to drive an FD car? I was like, I need like training for that. I'm not gonna be able to just get in there and fucking like
Yeah.
do a lap at Englishtown. That shit's I'm gonna be fighting so much grip. Like
Yeah. You have to change your mindset a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's cool that you can do that though. I mean, I think with time anyone can do it. You
Yeah.
just have to have the right person in your ear, have the right team, and just focus and anything's possible and obviously have the money.
yeah.
That is
You
the
know what I mean?
biggest
Yeah.
factor.
But yeah, spotting, dude, I feel like that might be the second most important fucking
Yeah.
job.
Spotting's because you can keep your driver in it.
Yeah.
You can see when their morale starts to go, and that your job is to be there to save them, bring them back up, keep them their head in the game.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a little bit easier for me because I know what it feels like.
Is
Maybe
that like
not
the
to be-
corner guy in boxing?
Yeah, I
Would
guess
it-
you would say that, or like the guy who
Head
was
body,
in,
head body.
What was it? Days
Frankie,
of Thunder when he
we're
was
at
like, yo,
Englishtown.
hit
Oh,
the pace car.
yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
Like that's pretty much what goes on there. And there's a lot of really good. Like there's been female. What was it? Rad Dan's wife. She won for Spot of the Year award. I don't know
really?
how many years ago. Odie's wife won Spot of the Year award. So a lot of that stuff, I've learned a lot asking questions from a lot of them. So I mean, I have to give a lot of credit to it. When it comes from that side of things, like I came in there green,
Yeah.
and a lot of people showed me what they were doing. The guy who won last year, Dan, he's part of Matt Field's team.
Okay.
He would take videos with a big iPad, and I'm like, oh, that's so much better than a little phone.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So just little things that people would do. Who really shocks me is Papadakis. He just like doesn't do nothing. He's just like there.
what do you
but I-
mean?
Like I'm not saying he doesn't do nothing. I mean like I don't know how their team works.
yeah.
And like they're so proficient and so good, you want to ask questions, but like you're busy.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean? You're busy doing your thing. Yeah, and then you see some spotters that say some things. You're just like, Jesus Christ, why would you ever tell them to do that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I could imagine.
But it's because it's their homie helping them and stuff. So you
yeah, it's not like a professional
yeah.
spotter.
So you got to be lenient on that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I enjoy the judging more than anything though, because I get to bust on like a lot of the drivers and stuff.
Yeah.
I think that you would be an awesome judge, and if that's in your future, I would definitely.
I hope so. Maybe try it out. I think I definitely have the attitude to kind of just like shrug off anybody that has an issue with it, because I think you just kind of have to have that. I think it definitely takes maybe now would be a good time. Maybe not 10 years ago would have been a good time. I think I matured a lot more since then. So
Nice.
I mean, I think it would be awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'll watch Formula Drift again.
I watched it because I watched a little bit of it. This Long Beach, I watched because Forrest Wang. Was,
Long Beach is the sickest layout. So.
because Forrest Wang was
I
in
don't
it.
know why I like
and
that, but
I saw that there is an E36 that's leading it. I think his name is Rome.
yeah, Rome Sharp. I drove
RCP.
against him in Clutch Kick. That's the series, dude. I won. I beat him, but that's because he had a mechanical issue, so I don't count it.
That is sick to me.
Had he not had that issue, dude would have walked all over me. 100%. Because, like, the difference between an FD guy, everyone that beat me at clutch kickers was an FD dude that had, like, way more horsepower than me. But it's because, like, what I don't think people understand is if you're able to squeeze a one more time out of them, they readjust. They're like, oh, okay. And then they fix their car up. And then because they have that education, because they know how to do that, that's how they beat you. I had 450 when I was doing clutch kickers. These guys had a little bit more. And I would ask them, I think the dude from Englishtown Racing, McDowell, beat me. He had like 700 horsepower. And I asked him, what did you do? And he's like, oh, I dialed the grip in for the next one.
Yeah.
And that's fair game. You know what I mean? Like, I showed my cards. That's all I had. Another person that did that was Dirk Stratton in the Corvette. Like,
so they're kind of like sandbagging.
No. I'm not sandbagging. No, they go with what they make an educated guess on like how you drive, and then they try to set up for that. If they're like, oh, that wasn't fast enough, or oh, I didn't expect this dude to be as fast as I thought he was. On the second one, they readjust, and by that time, there's no chance. Now, if I would have had more horsepower, I would have been like, ooh, okay, and I got to get ready for the next one. I'm going to dial a little bit more grip in because I'm assuming he's going to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like at that point, that's how they think. And at least that's how I think. You know, if I go one more time with someone and you were even close to me, like, oh, I'm going to try to look for a little bit more somewhere so I can, like, make it prominent that you can't hang with me.
Mm. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And, like, I saw that happen a lot. So when I lose like that, I don't get upset. I'm like, oh, you outdrifted me.
Yeah.
Like, that's cool.
That's a good
You know what I
attitude
mean?
to have.
Like,
I
yeah,
feel.
yeah.
I also never thought of like FD people or the way that the readjustment.
They're smart.
To me, my readjustment goes on in my brain, and I'm like, all right, maybe don't hit the gas there. like
And I guess that's where we can say that's why they're professionals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because they're good.
And they got experience with different situations like that. So.
Yeah.
All right, we can go some questions right now. Thoughts about rental drift cars? Would they work? What cars cost to rent them, etc., etc.? I mean, you pretty much went over this already. You have rental cars.
Yeah. I mean, what I will say is right now, currently the way the United States market is in my area in the Northeast, I use G35s, 350Zs, E46s, and E36s. Because at the time that I bought these cars, they were the most obtainable. The E36s are getting a little pricey now. Complete transparency, I picked up an E36 328 mint $2,500 pre-COVID. Picked up a 350Z mint $3,500 pre-COVID. Post-COVID, I picked up a G35 $5,500.
It's kind of fucked up that COVID is the fucking.
It's because people bought them like hell,
Yeah.
man. People were bored.
So
The prices,
weird.
and and the economics and what's going on in our world and our government, whether we follow it or not, that all plays a role. You know, it's just the world we live in. So I try to stick with cars that I know if you were to try to get into drifting, like and money's an issue, which 95% of the time it always is. Cars that you're going to probably end up doing. So like those cars, sometimes depending if they're really heartstrung on getting like a Mustang, I'm like, you can get an S95 for $4,500. The V8 problem there really isn't going to be too much of a thing. It's just what they like to do. You know what I mean? Whatever. Or an RX-8 or something like that. You know what I mean? So there is some odd ones. Some people like Miatas because they like Miatas. But for the most part, you're going to end up finding cars that are pretty reasonably priced. And ones that if you were going to get into drifting, you would find them. So that's my recommendation. Like the easiest right now is a 350Z.
Yeah.
And G35. Like there's just so much support. Like you can click.
Good out
Basically
box.
like an S chassis.
The
Yeah, you
engine
can
is
literally
good.
you can click and build a drift car nowadays. You know,
Yeah.
which I'm happy you guys can do that, and I'm kind of jealous that you guys.
Yeah,
can
you
do
just
it.
go on factionmotorsports.com.
Yeah, there you go. Shameless.
Damn.
Nice
All right.
setup. Good alley oop.
Yeah. Who are his favorite Soarer owners from Twitch Drift?
Twitch.
Does he go to your events?
He's come to the events. He's come to the school with his girlfriend.
Yeah, okay.
And they've done some laps, done some tandems and stuff like that. I like them. What I like about them is that they just do their style. I would say maybe his girlfriend's car looks a little bit better than his car.
Damn, Twitch. What the fuck?
It's right-hand drive, and she's like, she drives really, really smooth and fluid.
Not to mention, he probably hasn't even like changed his car up in 10 years. So
Nah, I mean, he tried, but I think his whole thing is he really tries to support his woman and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So I think he just tries to like.
dude, when I see his car, it's like a blast from the past to me.
I know. I
yeah.
remember seeing it like driving on Route 17 with a little trailer.
Yeah, I
behind
see
it.
him at like car shows in 2012.
And now he has a
yeah.
Peterbilt looking truck.
Yeah, that shit's wild.
But they're out there doing their thing. And what I like it is that they're just about it. Like
Yeah.
they don't care. They're just like we're out here doing it, and like I think that's badass.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Why is Reese, aka Becky, so awesome?
Why is Reese back? I don't know who would say that.
You
Does
don't
it say
know
who
who would
said
say
this?
Yeah, Leah.
Oh, that's my homegirl Leah from Philly.
Why are you Becky?
So me and her have been friends. I don't know, since right after high school and stuff like that.
Oh, so she's known you for a
yeah,
long
she's
time.
known me as Mauricio, not Reese.
Okay.
Yeah. Like everybody in high school knows me as my real name, not Reese. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's so funny. No, but she's awesome. She's always I've always bounced ideas off her because she's really good with organization and stuff like that. And she does like a lot of like startups and stuff like that with her job, and it's just really
okay.
cool to bounce ideas off of her, especially when I was starting the school and stuff like that. And it's kind of cool to have someone that I've known for such a long time like that. So it's cool.
That's good to have someone in your
Yeah.
life like that.
Yeah, she's pretty awesome when it comes to that.
Tyler Say What says, any plans to revive the Coop and Meatball shop? A lot of nicknames.
You
on
still
here.
have? So do you still have a 240?
So yeah, I have my daily 240. That's like a beige John.
Oh
Like,
yeah, that
that's-
shit's
yeah,
like clean too.
that's clean. Well, it was clean. It's
Uh-oh.
just it's been left in a lot. So there's like a guy in Florida that does like S chassis restorations or something. So maybe I'll take it to him. I don't know. I don't want to drift that car. I just want to have that car.
Yeah.
I do have my old Pro-Am S13. That the one you saw me drive for so
Yeah.
many years. I have that one, but I don't know. Like I don't want to put a V8 in it again.
Okay.
You
Is that the
know?
coupe that this person
Yeah,
has
that's the
mentioned?
coupe that they're talking about. It's the one that I like retired, I guess you can say, in 2016 is when I stopped driving my own car.
Mm-hmm.
And I just started dedicating more to like instructing and stuff like that. So I don't know. I thought maybe like I kind of like Mikey Walsh's like VQ in there.
Dude, that car needs a KAT, man.
You know, maybe I'll talk to the Hayes boys and be like, "Yo, what's up?" You know
Yeah.
what I mean, because I used to rock KAT a lot back in the day.
Yeah.
So
I remember you
maybe
said
something
that.
like that. You know, I really like the KAT.
I know you don't want to do an SR, so.
I would do an SR again if I, you know, because I had 3 or 4 SRs in my lifetime, and they were cool, but they just started getting really pricey and stuff,
Yeah.
and I was like, dude, I can't do that right now.
Yeah, I think the KAT is the way, man.
Yeah,
For
and
that
I think
for that car.
I mean I would, but I have to
Yeah.
fix it up and like I don't know if I do that car up again. Like I even thought about bringing it here. I'm like, all right, if I'm gonna do this again, it has to look the way I want it to look, that certain style. That's,
Yeah.
you know, I'd probably actually spend the money and go get like wheels that I would want from that era. You
Yeah.
know, that I saw, probably Gremlins.
Yeah.
You know, when I see Rays, I'm just like, oof,
You and Carl could probably talk about wheels for another hour, so. I'm not a wheel guy, man. I don't
He's
know shit
not.
about.
He just happens to have the most baller set of wheels
By
in
accident.
2023.
yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, it's what looks good. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? It's just, I
Yeah.
have a certain era that I watched, and I'm just like, damn, and I want it.
There's some wheels that I see and I'm like, I like those, but most of the wheels I see, I'm always, I don't know.
Like
I feel
the newest ones that I like, I really, and it's not because I just have them on that 350Z, but I like those stage wheels a lot. I
Yeah.
really do enjoy the Monroes. You know what I mean? I like those because they remind me of a certain look, one piece look that I would go for back in the day.
One piece wheels are where it's at.
Yeah.
I like the one piece wheels.
I have 5 Ziggins, FN01s.
Nice.
I have 8 of them.
I will say though, it's nice when you hit a curb and you just change your lip out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know.
Do you think that'll come back again?
What, me hitting curves?
No. The big wheels.
Good
and lips and
cue.
stuff.
The big wheel thing? Oh, like lips and everything? I mean, I don't know. Is it gone? I would say it's probably not gone at Final Bout, right?
But it's not as predominant. As
It's
it
like
used
a
to
lot of TE stuff.
Oh,
a
okay,
lot
so it
of
is kinda like
monoblock
that.
wheels.
Will it come back? I don't know. Probably not. Because I feel like drifting at this point is just evolving.
No, wait.
And it's not, no one's really like looking back anymore, but like nerds like me.
There were some people on like some chromey wheels, VSKF.
Yeah, of course. They're going to be there.
Yeah, no, it's not dead or anything. It's just
Yeah.
like I do see a lot more like monoblock type of wheels. I like
Yeah.
the monoblock type of wheels because it looks like a track car, and it's just like
I just like fitment. If
Yeah.
you just fit your,
It has to
if
fit.
You just fit everything right.
Yeah.
you know, you
My
can
car's
come to a happy
fitment is so
medium.
shitty.
But if I'm fitting fingers underneath, like,
If I'm putting a fist under your front fender,
I'm having
Josh.
issues with that. Oh wow.
Yeah, dude.
I really like that car though.
You could live in that wheel gap.
Wow. Wow.
I don't ever say
He
anything
said
like
you
that.
could fit a bus on there.
you could move in. They know.
I just sent Josh this fucking reel on Instagram of this guy saying MTA bus training be like, and it's one of the little skits. It's like shit like do you have a driver's license? All right, you're good. Like,
Yeah.
Did you see that video where he was in there and like some dude was like, and he was like, yeah, SR20.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, this dude's so out of pocket. Dude. This is so funny.
and then it's the last stop. It's the last stop.
He's like,
It's
yeah,
so
dude,
funny,
SR20. And the dude's just
I
like,
just
yeah,
feel like
yeah,
if
what?
we should all just like get together and like
get on
find out
his
you get on
route.
his route.
I've done it once.
We should like all of us. Like each time, like you pick up one person,
Yeah.
and then like the next one,
stop.
oh, what's up, dude? And then the next one, oh, what's up?
We should definitely do that.
Josh, you can't watch this show.
Me and Miyagi did that once. We were getting halal guys in the city, and then
Dude.
Josh was like, "Yo, I'm a little uptown from there." I was like, "All right, we're stopping by," and we just pull over. And he just pulls up to us, opens the door. We just get in, not even at a bus stop, and then we just ride with him like for the
That's
next
so
like
good.
hour. And like no one got on. It was just like he was just doing this route that like no one fucking.
He just
got
had
on.
the thing on that said off duty. He was like, yeah, I ain't picking nobody up. Fuck them.
Dude, it was wild watching him drive that thing around.
Dude,
I was like,
did he
oh,
look like
shit.
the Asian dude that goes down the toge, like whipping around corners and stuff like that?
Kinda, because he could like handle it so well. I was like, this thing is big, dude,
Yeah.
and you're just whipping it around like it's a fucking.
I like how he
Corolla.
plays it down of like what he does for work, but like
Yeah.
every time I'm just like, yo, your job's pretty lit.
And he
dog.
drives like the double ones too. Sometimes and
I
shit.
couldn't
I think that's
never.
what we were in that night, and I was like, bro, what? How are you driving this thing right now?
Dude, I think that's why he is the way he is. He's always like, I don't know. Because after you do all of that, it's just like, whatever, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
that is a crazy thought to drive.
that was
And
R20.
when I was in Hong Kong, I was in a I went to Hong Kong as a kid, and they were driving through
Mr. Worldwide.
this. I did
know,
a lot
Hong
of traveling
Kong,
in my younger
damn.
years. But they were driving on like a skinny road, and we were in a Toyota Hiace.
It's had to be a Toyota, bro.
Toyota Hiace. I didn't even really like Toyota back
High
then.
Ace?
Yeah, it's a
the hell is
square.
that?
The
It's
one
a
that looks like a
Hi-ace?
loaf of bread.
I don't know.
High ass, yeah. But the guy was whipping it like we would go around, and it's two-way,
Right.
but yet it's just so happens to be just the perfect amount of width, and I'm like, this is insane. And then he probably just goes home, and it's like whatever.
I got to go to Hong Kong. Well, I want to go visit so many places. You know where I really wanted to go? I wanted to go to Russia.
I want to go too.
Before all of that shit happened, like, I was really trying to figure out a way to go and go to, like, Sochi or whatever the place is called, or where, like, there's a whole bunch of street drifting and, like, mountain drifting going on. Like, I'm about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said, well.
Let's be real. I'm about that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to hear about you. I don't want you to show up to my school with you showing me videos you doing it. But, like,
Yeah.
if you're out of the country, bro, like, I'm going to be like, hell yeah, bro.
Yeah,
That's
Russia.
sick.
Russia's wild.
Yeah,
with that
like,
stuff.
it's just like, and I'm sure there's, like, people over there like, oh, it's really bad that they're doing that. But, like, I don't know, dude. It's cool to see all those buildings in the background. They're just like,
Yeah.
no fucks given. And like,
Yeah.
who knows what's going on over there. But after all that shit happened, like, they're like, yeah, we're not doing that right now.
Probably a good idea.
Yeah, you know, and I would have
Yeah, he
loved
might
to have
become
gone
a
there.
political prisoner or something.
Yeah. Because I would have totally
Whoops.
went down there and be like, yo, let me whip a car real quick. Could you imagine? Could you imagine the video? How much street cred would you get if you have a video?
Street
of
drifting
you
in
street
Russia?
drifting in Russia.
Yeah, that'd be pretty.
And then they
legit.
catch me, and then I'm like, yeah, I was there, man.
But I
hard.
kind of
Straight
feel
to the
like if you
gulag.
come back to America,
You're hard.
I'm never going to be allowed in Russia now. Like, they're just
Yeah.
like that, dude.
You're gonna be so hard.
Well,
You're
apparently
gonna
it's
be-
not really easy to get into Russia anyway. Before all
Yeah.
this,
So
You
what
need,
I was
like,
gonna,
you
I'm
need
not
an
gonna say what I
invite,
was gonna do because I don't want them to.
right? Yeah,
You know what I mean? I was gonna. Oh, I'll say it because chances are I won't go anywhere.
you're just gonna sneak on some luggage.
What I was gonna do is I was gonna become a Colombian citizen.
Okay.
You know, because
Okay.
you can get dual citizenship in Colombia.
Yeah.
And then I was gonna enter Russia as a
So-
Colombian, not an American.
Okay, so it's a lot easier.
Nice.
I don't know. I just feel like it sounds so much cooler when I say it that way. Like, did you go to Russia? Yeah, but I didn't go as an American. They're like, what? I'm like, yeah, I entered as a Colombian.
I think it sounds cooler the other way because they're like they could have taken you.
Yeah, but what if they would have taken me?
Yeah, then we
You
wouldn't
know?
even.
They're like, who is this guy? Colombian? Who
Had to
cares?
wash
Coffee,
my
whatever.
identity.
You know what I mean?
Fucking.
I mean, I want to go to Russia.
I do. I want to go anywhere that they're doing cool drifting like that. Like 100% sure I want to go to Russia at some point. And there's some rippers over there, dude. The RDS is RSD is they got some dudes there that kill it. Toyotas.
They like them
ISs.
to, they should be sitting on the
ISs.
limiter.
ISs, yeah, killing
Just
it.
sitting on limiter.
What kind of engines in those things?
Ones they have over
Ones.
there are like 1G FE and then they turbo them, or they're just 1Js. Always. It's
1J.
not. It's never NA. They're
Next-
just ripping.
Next question, Alan Kyle. Tell us about driving styles you like to explore when teaching your students.
That's a pretty good question,
good
Alan.
question,
Who
dude.
taught you
Kind of a
that?
good question.
Yeah. He's gonna hit me like so. What do you think?
He does that shit.
So driving styles, at the school, I don't like to push any specific style, because I don't think that's my place. I think no matter what style of drifting that you have, the foundation is the same across the boards. Like you have to understand inertia, you have to understand throttle modulation, you have to understand your torque if you're doing V8 stuff, you have to understand your lag if you're doing turbo stuff, vice versa, all of that. So all of that stuff, I think for the most part, is the same. Once you teach someone all of those things, then I feel their circle of friends or their taste in drifting style is going to come out naturally, and as they start going to events more and more. You have people that start doing more of the Japanese style like you guys have done over the time. You have other people that'll maybe do a little mixture of like competition and Japanese. Other people may just go the other direction. They just have like something that's straight out of Mad Max. Unfortunately, we can't control that. But I think that's my place. Teach you the foundation and then just kind of say, hey, man, it's up to you to figure out where you want to go in all of these subcultures of drifting that exist.
Yeah, you kind of like just see how they're driving and see what they're doing. And like, oh, I guess you like to do
Yeah,
like enter
and-
like that.
Yeah.
And
And so we start working on stuff
Yeah.
like that. And as they get better, it's like, okay, let's correct your line here, or like, let's change the arc of your radius here, or let's enter here, but position here because it gives you a different result here. And as they start getting better and they can understand what I'm saying, we can get deeper and deeper in conversation. And I'll be honest with you, like there's a very small select group of people that I can really nerd out with when it comes to drifting. Like there isn't a lot of people that know
Yeah.
a lot, you know? And I'm not saying like 3 or 4, I'm saying like maybe 15 people. But outside of that, like some people are just like, oh, I just do it to do it.
That's me.
And I get it.
I'm telling you, my adjustments are literally when I'm on
Dude,
grid and I'm like,
I'm the worst with
I'm
that
gonna
shit.
go faster.
Like when I have a technical conversation with Reese, he's like over here. I'm like, what is he saying right now? I don't even know what's going on. And then like, because I really don't know like technical terms in drifting and shit. Like when people ask me like, oh, what do you think? Like, I don't even know. I can't even give you an example. That's how much I know.
It's a black hole. I
yeah,
tell
and then
people
I'm
the
just
more-
like, I don't know. You just floor it.
It's like the little Russian doll that you keep opening up and it keeps going. Like the more you learn about this and the more combos you learn, like the more intense and complicated it gets in a good way. You know what I mean? Like for instance, like TJ Borat, right? Like he would watch me drive because he was a spotter for me. But then he implemented everything he saw me drive and then just made it better. So now when I watch him drive, I'm like, damn, can I even run that line? You know what I mean? Because he's like now evolved it.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And I don't know. Some people are like, bullshit. I don't even know how you see that. Well, I don't know, fucker. I see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Like,
mean, you can
he's
spot-
one of those people I wouldn't want to drive against because I'm like, this dude knows me well.
Yeah.
I may have not driven with him for a long time, but he drives with me for about a half hour or one session. By that next session, like he's going to be glued onto me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's what I like, that some people don't, maybe they don't realize that they pick up on these things, but I do because I'm watching film all the time, you know, all the time.
Yeah, you definitely are able to pick out things that I would never ever notice. And it's like even if you ask me, like, oh, I see what you did there. It is. I'd be like, dude, I have no idea what I was doing, but thanks, I guess. Like, that's how it always was when we were at Club Loose. Like people would say things, I'm just like, I don't know. I'm just trying to keep up or like, have a good lead line, which is, I feel like having a good lead line is maybe the one thing where I'm like, okay, I kind of know what I'm doing right now.
I think you drive really good.
When I drove back in the day.
But it comes right back, dude.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it. But like the lead line thing, like you kind of got to know what you're doing with that. Like if you're leading people in a drift, like, because if you fuck that up, you're fucking the whole thing up.
I think in drifting, if your goal is your first year, your goal, just aim high. Learn how to just run a good lead line.
Yeah.
Like if that should be your, because once you learn that and that becomes second nature, then other doors start opening up, because now you can like drift in the background, but then like another part of your brain is open to make adjustments in tandem.
Yeah.
And then, but if you jump the gun or you start putting parts on your car that you don't need, like which happens a lot, which I mean, I'm not saying you don't, some parts you do need, some parts you don't need, but you can't click skill and buy skill. Like, you got to put the time in. Yeah, I mean, Jordan didn't become Jordan because he just played basketball when they told him to. Like, he put a lot of time in. Kobe the same way. You know, you name any race car driver, they're putting in time.
Yeah.
I mean, we make fun of the simulators and say, and I did for a little bit too. But like, if you think about it, the technology that we're using now for simulators, or those kids that are using for simulators, is the same technology some of these F1 guys were using probably back in the 90s.
Yeah.
So I mean, like,
Yeah, it's true, actually.
100%.
It's probably better.
Yeah,
I suck ass at that shit.
And to them, this is something they do after school, after they finish their homework or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's gonna be good. You should get a simulator.
I don't need none of that. But he said there is a direct correlation, like, between people who use the sim and come to the school and everything.
I know there is 100%. Somebody on the sim, what you can't do is what you mentioned earlier, which is not being able to let go of the wheel. You will not be able to spin a wheel like this on a sim, or feed it like this. It will not move fast enough. The game will not. You will just keep spinning out and spinning out and spinning out.
It's almost like little things they letting go of the, like, they pick up on little, what they don't understand is the G forces.
Yeah.
You can't, at least right now, you can't replicate
unless you
that.
got a lot of money.
Yeah. And even then, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, I've had a lot of kids that say, well, I can't just hit restart here. Like, I'm in your car. So it becomes real to them. It's like, yo, I'm in this. This is a heavy car. This is a heavy door.
Yeah.
This is wind. That's dirt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the kids are way more respectful than you think. I think kids nowadays are just being raised in this advanced world, and they just suck up information way differently, and they're just doing really good right now out there. All of the kids that come to me, I'm just like, damn, this is crazy.
So you have faith in the next generation?
100%. I had faith when you guys were doing it, right? And look at you now.
Yeah. Wow.
I remember I specifically told all you guys, included Frontier, I'm like, you guys are the future of this shit.
I remember.
And here you are.
I remember Dad Reese giving me the lecture.
Because you're like, I know, because if they're into it, and we're already the old guys back then, like, I knew that's what was going to be the case. You know what I mean? And like, and it just happens now. Now they're all the old ones.
We're
And now
just
I'm washed
waiting.
up.
We're just waiting for you to come back.
Oh my God! Stop saying it like it's a fucking movie.
It is,
I
because
hate
it's
it.
about to be a movie.
Because I'm gonna get my car running and then just fucking tank it. And then
Next
be like,
fall,
oh,
the
fuck.
return of Faction Motorsports.
Yeah, like I want Frankie to drive because like
Because then he can have someone to drive with. That's what Because he knows I'm dumb and I'll do every event.
yeah, because like I always pester Chris about driving, and like it does cost a lot of money. And
Chris isn't here. You can talk shit about him now.
nah, I don't ever. But like the thing is like I want him to drive more, but I get there's like it's not like this is our number one priority. Like if you want to go do something else, go do something else. But I know if Frankie's driving,
Right.
It's my number one priority.
it's literally like, all right, let's go. Like
Yeah.
I want somebody to push me. Like I'm trying to push.
We can go to an event
Right.
and
My
and
friends.
market the company and drift. Yeah, I'm gonna. Go.
I mean, nowadays that's how it has to be.
Yeah.
I mean, at our stage, for us, that's how we have to look at it.
yeah,
You know, and it just makes sense.
Shop
You know,
car.
shop cars outside. S14.
I mean, and any of them. You know what I mean? I definitely think that's the push is to do stuff like that. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Last question from Alan Kyle: favorite track and why?
Ooh, damn it, Alan! I was literally gonna
No.
fucking ask that.
I get asked that a lot. It's like,
But everything but.
I'm
Clubhouse.
interested. No. I'm interested to hear the
no,
answer.
It's clubless.
Woo!
Damn it! See, I already knew that answer, but.
So
I
the
wanna
reason
know
why, because I
beyond.
got asked that
Yeah.
also everywhere I got asked that. The reason why is because I trust the drivers at the club so much, and I know every time I go out there and I go with the Group A guys, like I'm going to be able to push it, and God forbid things get a little squirrely. For the most part, we're all on the same page.
Yeah, like you're gonna be okay.
Yeah. And,
Probably.
And maybe that's the same for many other people at their clubs around the country. But I personally know that with these group of people, I'm cool. You know, I can be a little reckless, and like they're going to be a safety net for me as I would be for them. And because of that, we're able to get the maximum out of Englishtown. And that's why that's my favorite track, because I can't do that. You know, like when I went to Pat Acres, I was getting the maximum out of the track, but only when I was driving with Chelsea or when I was driving with Travis Reeder, because I spent a lot of time with them. But that wasn't the normality for everyone that was there. So that can't be my favorite. So for me, the parameters are very different. So for me, Englishtown is definitely number one, because when I go there, I'm always going to have a great time. I'm always going to get good tandems, you know, because I'm sure people are going to be like, oh, I want to drive with Reese. So I have that. And because of that, it really amplifies my experience at Englishtown. And that's why for me, the greatest place on earth will always be Englishtown. You know what I mean? For sure.
That was perfect.
Yeah, wow.
That's a perfect way to end this.
Yeah, that was literally beautiful. Thank you so much for coming on the pod.
No,
Reese.
not a
It's
problem
I mean,
at all.
it sounds like you have a shitload of stuff going on, so I'm really glad you could have squeezed us in.
Yeah, I
And-
appreciate you coming in, man.
Yeah, and I was pumped. I see everything you guys are doing. I think it's really cool to see all the homies on here and talking and shit.
Dude,
like that. So
like,
it's great.
To be able to hear, I don't ever know anybody before this,
Right.
aside from like when I saw you on Grid, and now when I'm gonna be on Grid and I see you there, I'm gonna be like, damn it.
Well, it's crazy because a lot of people now just know me as an instructor, and there's a lot of people that didn't even know I drove. So,
I just
Come on,
assumed
you
since
gotta drive.
I
to
was gonna
instruct.
say,
but
like-
some people don't look it up, you know, because people don't want to look up stuff. But then when they do, they're like, "Damn, you really like you're out there doing it." I'm like, "Well,
Yeah,
what
no
did you
shit.
think?
You thought I was
saying
just
it
telling you this
yeah.
shit for fun?
But you know, some people are like that. Like TikTok, they check me all the time. Like, you can't even drift. I'm like, go look at the videos, dog.
Yeah.
And then like you have other 12-year-olds like, you should go look at his videos, retard, or whatever they're
Yeah.
saying, or I don't know if they say that.
Allegedly.
they're way more educated than me. They're like, screw you, whatever. You know what I mean? It's like that's a whole other world, man. Those kids,
Yeah.
those kids make my.
I don't know.
day
You're making
TikTok.
TikTok sound like I gotta go on there.
It's so funny, dude. Like those dudes have so like I react to like video game videos of people drifting. I'm like, that wasn't that good. And like the kids just, what the fuck? You don't even know what you're talking about, blah blah. And I'm
Yo,
just
that-
reacting to normal videos like of them drifting video games.
Dude, that reminds me. You used to always post crazy ass statuses, just calling people out for shit.
Yeah.
What happened to that, man? I need more of that.
So I mean, like, I think the last one that I really was big on was with that dude Joe.
Oh,
that's because
yeah,
it
yeah,
needed
yeah.
to be said. I think the one before that was Taylor Hall.
It was always like some random like thing that
anytime
happened.
I saw something I just didn't agree with, and I mean, just to be clear, like with Taylor Hall, like I'm sure he's probably a really nice dude, but I was just replying to like what he did as a driver at that moment.
I don't even remember that one.
Yeah, people were just talking about him sandbagging. I thought he was.
Oh, okay.
But like he's an amazing driver.
And then he'll
you know?
just like, he'll be like, "Yo, the people at Takeovers, man, what are you doing? Why don't you come to a real event and like?"
Oh yeah,
actually,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
dude, like that
I remember I
shit-
bet them like, I'll pay.
Yeah.
Somebody show up and try to beat me, I'll bet you $10,000 I'm off the floor with you. But I have to film it live and everything. Obviously, nobody's gonna do that. That's just not
Yeah.
even fair. But more of those Takeover dudes have shown up and shown support, and now they're trying to either convert or they're trying to learn how to do it correctly instead of like they're like, yeah, I think it's better not to do it on the street. So I'm not gonna be able to convert all of them, but some of the dudes, they're down. So that's cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
That's awesome,
that's you contributing to society.
Yeah, literally. You're definitely making the drifting community better. So,
I try
awesome.
a little bit at a time. You know what I mean?
where can everyone check out your stuff?
You can go on Instagram, Drift School Evergreen. You'll pop up on Instagram as well as driftschoolevergreen.com. You'll have all the information there where you can email me all your info and stuff like that. Reese Marin on Instagram. And if you're going to find me on TikTok, I haven't changed it just because I
Oh,
just
no,
have
what
this
is
name.
it?
It's Senpai Reese. Yeah.
That's perfect.
It's so good. And I just went with it. You know
It's
what I
actually,
mean?
yeah, that's a good name.
Yeah,
Good-
it was
especially to get people to argue with you and shit. That's perfect.
It's so great. These kids are ruthless. Right?
Yeah.
And I like it. I'm like, man, you guys shit talk really good.
Yeah. It's
I,
because
like,
they're on the
respect
internet.
them. I know. I respect them.
They're
Yeah.
just they
Yeah.
that's a craft. That
Yeah.
to be able to roast somebody with
They'll say
to-
say basic stuff like you're just ugly, and I'm like, wow.
you see that's
Wow.
a clean break.
The deliver is just like,
Yeah.
and it's through like posting, and I'm like, wow, just the way he taped it, you know.
Yeah, that was good.
Sick. I respect that kid. You know?
Thank you so much for coming, Reese.
Maybe we'll have you back on again with Russo and Post Malone, and then
Dude. What the fuck? But
Bruce has good stories. You should get him on. He has,
Yeah.
he has some really. He's met a lot of cool people.
does he live in California now?
No, he's back in PA now.
Okay.
You know what I mean? He'll tell you about the story. We went to a fight. We met McLovin.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Because of him, I met that dude. You know,
Bro, I'm gonna have you back on. We're gonna start a Patreon soon. We're gonna have you back on.
Yeah, we'll get real discreet.
Yeah. All right, let's close this one out, Carl.
Thank you guys so much for watching and listening. If you haven't already, drop a review on the Spotify or a like on the YouTube, depending on where you're watching or listening to this. The Discord's popping as fuck. You still haven't made a fucking Discord.
I don't know what that is.
Frankie, there's a faction Discord and it's fun. I get Xbox Live party vibes from it. I'm gonna probably go home
or nothing, dude. Assetto or nothing.
They have Malcolm set it up with multiple channels. People who are playing Assetto could get on Assetto. Right now, I just play on CarX because I could most of the time.
I like CarX. That's cool.
Like it's a game.
Yeah,
I don't use that for sim stuff. I use it as a game.
Yeah.
But it's just really fun. We met a lot of people on there, and if that interests you, go check it out. Malcolm, how do they do that? I forgot.
He doesn't have a mic, but
the link is on our link tree.
Yeah, the link tree on the Instagram.
On Instagram. Thank you guys so much. And if you said hi to me at Summit this past weekend, thank you so much. That made me feel like I was somebody.
You are somebody, Carl.
Yes, sir. I'm Carl.
All right, Malcolm. Close this out.
I can't play the music because I gotta do it afterwards.
Okay.
Just get an applause.
Hey.
What an outro.
I love it.